latest high core count AMD CPUs. Fanless VRM.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the XP Open Series number 2, brought to you by Computer Alliance and Intel. Matt, we're in the week number 2 now, and it is going to be an absolute barn burner. How do you feel about going to week number 2?
I'm feeling pretty fired up, honestly, Tony. Like, after seeing some of the capabilities of the teams heading out of week 1, I think that there's definitely more to come from them. We already saw such an explosive first week, some real nail-biter matches. Like, I think we saw a full reverse sweep out of the Trident match, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm keen to see more like that heading into week 2.
Yeah, hopefully we see some more crazy 3 mappers, that's for sure. But Matt, we want to take a look at how we got here. Let's have a look at our league format here as we quickly fire it off. Of course, we started with a double elim bracket, best of 3, 16 teams we went through, Matt, to get to this circumstance. And now we're here into the group stage, 4 teams, 3 weeks, round robin, everybody versus each other once. Best of 3s and opposed to our best of 1s from last season.
Definitely impressed with how the format's changed up. I think some of the players are going to be happy with that as well. Best of 3s obviously giving teams more of a chance to be a bit more competitive heading towards our finals here. And the finals, where we are now, is obviously the proving grounds, or rather, we're in the group stage at the moment, heading towards the finals eventually, though. But I'm definitely eager to see which of our teams will be heading towards the finals, because I believe we've only got 1 more week in regulation after this one.
Yeah, it's all about getting those wins on the board. Of course, we saw Trident and Honey Badgers, I believe, both take home wins to their board. So maybe we see Gym Fan Club, and maybe we see Rain come back full force in this week. Of course, though, we're going to have a look at the teams, Matt, who qualified for this league and who will be seeing, of course, later on in the evening, who will be seeing first up in this evening. As you can see, Rain, Honey Badgers, Gym Fan Club, and Trident were the teams that qualified through the open qualifier. And, Matt, it's interesting to see, of course, we see Rain return with a new look roster, of course, recent addition of Minimize. Honey Badgers, changing up a few things here. They're getting Autumn back in the roster. And then we see the 2 new blood teams here, Gym Fan Club and Trident. And we were much impressed of Trident last week, because I have to say Mazuhong really, really showed up to play last week.
Absolutely. Just definitely proved themselves as a key player for their roster. And I'm really interested to see how they flow into this week as well, because obviously we know that now Mazuhong can perform, but I definitely feel like there's some other players on that roster who can deliver if push comes to shove as well.
Yeah, a few unsung heroes on that Trident roster, that's for sure. But of course, Matt, we spoke about, you mentioned that it's week number 2. We're going into week number 3, and these teams are trying to secure that seed. But what are they trying to secure that seed for? As we look over to our prize pool and see what these players are putting all the time in, putting all the prac in, and you can see it's our prize pool sponsored by Intel. It's $2,000 up for grabs. First taking home 1,000, second 500, third 300, and then fourth a lovely little 200 to their margin. So Matt, everybody walking home a winner at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It's great to see that the teams have something really honestly great to play for, and I feel like they're going to be happy with the results at the end of the season as well, because there's definitely a lot that you can do with any of these dollary-doos that you will come away with at the end, but we don't know who's going to be the winner just yet, as we still have plenty more matches to play heading towards the finals.
Yeah, plenty more mats to be played as we check out our week 2 schedule here for you this evening. We'll see who will be taking on who. Rain versus Gym Fan Club first up for your 6:30 match. Matt, we decided to get it on the way a little bit earlier. A few of the players wanted to get in the mix of things early as well. Trident, Honey Badgers later on at 9 p.m. And I feel both these matchups on paper are going to be very interesting. We saw A very underwhelming Gym Fan Club, I'd have to say, from last week, especially given the talent on that roster. And they're going up against a Reign who they're going to be feeling sour after last week.
Yeah, they definitely might be feeling a bit hard done by. Obviously, having their first match last week going 1-2 against Trident. Trident managed to pull that full reverse sweep from the get-go there after losing map 1. They managed to pull it all the way back in the second and third maps. Fantastic stuff from Trident there. But this will be Reign's time to prove themselves once again here and get their chance to get a W on the board.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well going over into that second match, Honey Badgers versus Trident's, a battle for the top of the table. We saw Honey Badgers last week come in full force against Gym Fan Club, of course. We saw a quick 2-0. We only got to experience the first map, and I have to say Honey Badgers really, with that new pickup in Autumn, kind of finding themselves, but still looking solid overall, and that one's definitely a match to watch for, especially expect 3 maps out of Honey Badgers and Trident for sure.
Definitely eager to see exactly how things play out here, Tony. We've got some banger matches tonight. We're starting things off, obviously, with Reign and Gym Fan Club. Just getting that one set up for everybody at the moment. But, Tony, in terms of this matchup, do you feel like we could expect some surprises to come out of it?
It's going to be an interesting one, I feel, as we see a lovely graphic pop up. Reign versus Gym Fan Club. I feel it's going to be battle of who can make the greater impact, I would have to say. We saw Gym Fan Club, of course, a very talented roster on paper. You've got a lot of players that have played together previously, and a few players that, haven't had their moment to shine just yet. We've got Andy, very talented duelist player. You've got Mirza, a very unsung individual player who, back in the days of Bonkers, I believe, and all those other rosters he was on, that, Mirza was kind of that beacon of hope for some of those teams, and always look to see him put up numbers on the board, especially with Mike and, recent addition Nedic coming over from a former other competitive shooter now to Valorant, and hopefully looking to show up a little bit better than last week, that's for sure. But, of course, for the side of Reign, Matt, it's a scary roster to look at.
Absolutely. And we are going to be taking a look at that right now, seeing they have no substitutes. It is going to be none other than Minimize, Punda, What, Exus, and Maishu there on the Reign side of things. So definitely eager to see exactly what they're going to be able to do heading into week 2 here. We saw a lot of impact from these players in week 1, right? But I feel like Punda was shut down a little bit by some of the opposition. So I'm eager to see if they might be able to redeem themselves heading into week 2.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Especially we saw, Punda have a very big impact on that first map, especially his duelist prowess on the Rays, always one to watch for. And then he kind of took a step back, man. Punda went a little bit MIA for the last 2 maps of that series, and that's really where Trident were able to capitalize. We saw Mazahong drop a lovely 35 kills on that second map, and that's where Trident really picked him apart from there. And, well, for a team like Reign, who's still kind of probably finding the little bits of nuance here, because you've got Watt and Minimize, very talented and very collected in terms of experience, but of course they're going to be facing down at Gym Fan Club. Matt, we love them, you hate them, who knows? Duddy checks the subs here for Gym Fan Club, but then Andy, Sicko, Mirza, and Mike Nedic to fill out that roster. And we spoke about Andy, we spoke about Mirza, but of course you've got a wealth of competitive experience. You've got 2 former Mind Freak players here, Sicko and Mike. Definitely had their run at the top of the table, and definitely have what it takes to bring the fight to a roster like Raider, because we've seen Sicko many a times, Matt. We saw him on the old Kango roster with some very talented names over on that side, and it's always good to see Sicko still around as one of the best sovers in our region, I have to say.
Absolutely. It's great to see that people are still managing to find a use case for that server as well, because obviously you have seen it transitioned out a little bit with the release of some of our newer heroes like Fade, for example. So definitely eager to see exactly what will come out of it here. But obviously these are going to be our lineups for this evening. We have Reign Gym Fan Club, and we are just ever so close to getting things underway.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, Matt. You, of course, spoke to me a little bit about who before we started this, who will we be seeing on what agent? Who will we be seeing in terms of the vetoes here? So our map vetoes come through. Jim Fan Club taking away Haven, of course, a Rain specialty, regardless of who you ask on that roster. Always Haven, a great map to see out of a roster like Rain. Then Rain going to be taking away Breeze, a little bit scared after their last week game where Trident really took them for a run for their money. So we're going to be going to Icebox, our first pick by Jim Fan Club. Then to Pearl, our second map here, picked by Rain. Jim Fan Club getting to start the defense. Fracture Ascent being taken out of the pool. The decider going to be Bind. And Matt, I feel if Rain are picking Pearl as a first pick, they're going to be feeling confident about it.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be something that snapped within them after last week's proceedings. They really want to try and sweep this away in 2 maps, just have a clean and cut engagement and just absolutely smash their way through it. And we'll see if that confidence is going to be met positively heading into this one, or whether the Jim Fan Club may have a thing or two up their sleeve as well. And it could be a bit more of a shaky endeavor again, much like what we saw from Rain in week number 1 there.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, and especially looking at Icebox, it's Jim Fan Club kind of sticking with the element of surprise, I'd have to say, because Andy pretty comfortable on that map. I imagine so is Mike, so is Merza. They've played it time and time again. Sicko as well. The other one that's kind of really new to how Icebox has played at this competitive level is Netic, and we didn't get to see all too much of Netic last week in his opening debut here for the Jim Fan Club roster. So my eyes are on Netic, especially for this series overall. But of course, Rain picking Pearl up, I feel actually going to be a big buff for them in terms of the vetoes overall. Because even if Icebox slips out of their favor, they go to Pearl, very comfortable map for them. Then go to Bind for the decider, and you feel like this is Rain really winning out the vetoes just from a tactical perspective.
You can tell that they've definitely put a lot of thought into this one, really making ample preparation heading into the matchup itself. But we'll see if their preparations will be met in a more positive nature heading into practice. As obviously we are just setting up our first map at the moment, which will be Icebox. Teams are definitely getting pumped up themselves. I think I can definitely speak to this, Tony. You can see that they're very eager to get the battle underway there and to make sure that they can do the very best they can heading into Icebox. But, Tony, in terms of Icebox, do you feel like this might be a good start off to the series? Do you think it's a nice approach from both teams to settle into this matchup? Or do you think it might be a bit more dangerous?
I feel it's a great call for a team like Jim Fan Club. At the moment, Rain might struggle a bit with some early pressure if, Jim Fan Club can come out swinging at the gates. You bring Andy straight onto the op, go for some mid picks, go for some aggressive B long takes, and it could be really good. Of course, Rain having to start the defense side, so Jim Fan Club on the attack means that they can really play with the amount of pressure and the amount of talent they have on that roster. You put Merza on a Viper, I imagine, or Mike, and you just set the wall up, you set the exec up, whether it's a mid split even, you can go to A or B through mid, but it's going to be up to the battle of mid and how Rain can hold that down, whether they, of course, Toxic Orbit early or, of course, just play it a little bit safer towards the boiler. Who knows? But, Matt, I think we're going live into our agent selection here. Our lovely little graphic down up. Of course, Jim Fan Club versus Rain. You see Rain getting to start the defense. Jim Fan Club to the attack. And Punda going to be locking in the Yoru already.
Don't see that one every day, Tony, but I love to see it. And alongside it, it looks like we do have Viper locked in for what there. Followed up on the other side is Sova and Jet so far. You see some picks already being hovered over. The Cypher on the Rain side of things. Maybe are going to be locked in now as well as the Viper on Urza. So there's only one more pick remaining for Jim Fan Club, and it is going to be Sage. Definitely like the potential behind that Sage pick. They can deny plants, get that resurrection, healing through. So there's a lot of utility coming behind the Jim Fan Club comp there. I'm eager to see how Rain responds with their 3 remaining picks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting whether they bring the Sage themselves. Rain going for that early Sage pick means that they kind of give second life to Andy to run a muck in this first map here. And of course, for the side of Rain, they're going to be locking in the stage. A little bit of an interesting pick here from Minimize. I have to say, Cypher on a map like Icebox, not normally the pick we see, but of course could be something that Rain have been putting into practice recently. So we're live into it. Best of 3, Matt Rain versus Jim Fan Club. And it's a very almost mirror-esque comp. The only thing substituted out here is the chamber pick. Because you can see Mike rocking that one, and it will be interesting to see how that one fares. Of course, starting off the attack side, kind of favorable, I feel, for a pick such as chamber, where you've got the rendezvous. We've seen it. We've said it time and time again. You can go for aggressive pick and then just teleport out scot-free with the headhunter. You get 4 bullets, really. Or if you want to invest all of your credits, you get 8 shots with a sheriff, no armor. Of course, that pistol a little bit better because you can scope in. For the side of Rain, though, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm interested to see where they put the Cypher, whether it's over at A or they kind of put him over towards the kitchen, maybe lurk around the B side, the back of it, and really hold it down from there. Jim Fan Club, this is going to be an explosive start to the attack, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and I'm so eager to see exactly how they approach it heading into the attack side here. Looks like we are just loading in to the game at the moment. Getting everything in order. Team's just making sure everything is going to be all nice and dandy here, Tony. But speaking of nice and dandy, how have things been on your side of the pond, Tony? How are you feeling today?
I'm great, man. I got my heater on next to me. I'm staying a little bit warm, of course. You know, it's been a bit rainy, man. It's been very dreary weather, but of course the sun's shining, and it's still cold, but we're staying warm here, and hopefully the players are staying warm. Of course, a few of them from New Zealand, so I imagine it's a little bit colder where they are. And of course, you know, wanting to stay as warm and agile as possible going into a very important best of 3 here, Matt. Of course, second week, neither team to take a win on the board. Of course, Rain got pretty close in their series. Jim Fan Club got pushed aside very quickly by Honey Badgers in the first one, and ideally, as we said, both of these teams, they want to get that first win on the board and put themselves in a potential better seeding going into the playoffs.
We'll see if they are going to be able to get on to the better seeding here as we do push in to the game now. Looks like we may have some technical difficulties just yet to be resolved here. We'll just wait and see exactly what is going to happen. So we do have a pause heading into the freeze time there, but as you can see, we got Jim Fan Club on the attacker side there, followed by Rain on the defensive side here. Obviously, can't speak too much to the buyers. It's all very stock standard here. You know, you got a few upgraded pistols coming out and a little bit of utility being loaded up there. What kind of play do you feel like is going to come out here from the attacker side, Tony? Do you feel like they might go for the more A-centric play through middle, maybe for a bit of control there? What do you think would be the appropriate approach here?
I see 6 bullets in the headhunter from Mike, so I expect a split play to come through. Maybe towards B, because you can kind of take a longer range engagement with that scoped-in headhunter, and you can see the one thing I was curious about is where Minimize would be playing, and he's going to be a frontward position over towards B, looking to set up those wires in some cheeky little spots that maybe these Jim Fan Club members aren't going to be expecting. Because, Matt, I feel like Jim Fan Club probably weren't expecting a Cypher pick to come out here from the side of Rain, and that's, I guess, I speak wonders to how Rain like to shake things up. You know, we've seen Punda try some new stuff. We've seen the Neon. We've seen the Yoru come out on a map like Ascent, where Rain kind of really put the pressure on that attack side. And for a roster like Rain, it's always a good thing to see some experimentation, especially when the kind of meta shifted towards this chamber pick, and everybody was just like, all right, we're just going to run the Viper chamber. What works best for us? Normally we've seen a few teams pick up that KO too, but you know, Rain wants to experiment, but also wants to play their own game.
That goes there.
And it's good to play into your strengths as well, you know, even if it might not conform to a traditional comp, it's what they're good at, and they know that in their heart. So I'm eager to see how it comes to play into practice here, because obviously, as you've stated there, the Cypher, it's a little bit different. You don't normally see it, more towards that chamber pick, maybe the KO sometimes as well, but I'm definitely eager to see how the utility from the Cypher works out for them. I feel like on the defensive side, there's definitely a lot of places you can put that into practice, maintain that site control for your team. There's a lot of opportunity for the Rain side there, but heading towards the attack side, I'm not so sure what they might be able to achieve. Looks like we are going to be heading into it right now, though. Attack is already making moves towards the A side of things there, pushing their way towards the belt. Just trying to see if they can catch anyone off guard as they creep their way forward.
I guess the one thing to note as well, Minimize on this Cypher, he's placed all the traps, he's placed the camera, the teleport to the back of Snowman there for Punda, means that Rain are kind of in a good spot to really rotate about the map really, really quickly. You can see the teleport taken. Punda now is going to have to make quick tracks back to A site. Mike looking to walk up through the pipeline. Mike's still up on the rafter. Exa still holding close of Jen. For the moment, Gym Fan Club, you've got Mike in such an aggressive position taken up, but the rest of the team isn't really going the same direction.
Yeah, it looks like they're just playing the bait and switch there, just leaving the one player to hold things down on the nest position while the rest of them try and achieve another approach. Only have 36 seconds to go here, so they're really going to have to put the heel to the ground as soon as possible. Looks like the defenders are also making some rotations heavily towards the A side there. Think of the A play could come through, but as a matter of fact, Gym Fan Club all going to be towards B, so it is probably going to be a retake scenario being engaged here. Looks like Mike already starts the spark there and kicks it off with a bang, taking out Maishu.
And still 2 bullets in the head. Hunter looking to hold for what? Looking to walk up through that kitchen hallway. What takes out Mike and Punda. And prime position to set up the retake with the rest of the teammates. An interesting cross there, I have to say. Not one we see every day out of a player in the Oceanic Valorant region, but Puna can get it work. Make it work. What now takes out Mercer. And this is looking like a good retake potentially here for Rain, but they are going to be swept aside. Punda now 1v1 against Sicko, who's stuck up underneath the tube and over through middle. Sicko takes out Punda. The cross there, a little bit more favorable. Sicko can see a little bit more. Gym Fan Club, they pick up the pistol.
Definitely enjoyed the strategy that came into that play there. Playing the little bait and switch approach actually diverted the defender's attention and allowed them to get that early aggression with the spike plant there. We'll see if they can play into that a little more heading forward into rounds further in the future here. Round number 2, obviously, they've got, pretty stock standard by a couple of Spectres coming through there, as well as the Marshals, upgraded pistols there. And the response is pretty similar from Rain as well. Looks like Mike and Co, though, trying to take a bit of A control again. Just leaving Mike towards the back there, just in case someone pushes middle. Nedic and Co, though, are going to be creeping up now. Going to push the corner. They do take out Punda there. One more around the site. Merza pretty low. Exas does find Merza. Great response there. Spikes down as well. Will be picked up. And Maishu finds another one. Great defense coming through from Rain there.
Yeah, you can never count out the classics. Matt Watt looks to sneak over the top, but it's going to be Andy holding on top of that wall. Smart little call to make there. Great little reposition. It's now minimized with an interesting crossover of his own. He's got a smiley face bringing brought to the table. Andy through with a Marshall. Quick 3 means that second round it goes to Gym Fan Club without a hassle. Only losing 2 guns there in that force by Rain. Now to abide themselves, Matt, Guardian, Vandals, and 1 Phantom. It's up to Gym Fan Club to keep the pressure on, and that's what we wanted to see out of them early. Andy finding these picks, Mike going for some aggressive rendezvous teleports, and for the moment, it's all working out well for Gym Fan Club. Rain, of course, we can't get too ahead of ourselves. They're now onto the buy themselves, and this is where we start to see the implementation of the Cypher.
Let's see exactly what it does bring for them here. As you can see so far, they do have Minimized, just playing towards the B side there, looking to rejoin their teammates. Still playing just towards Kitchen for the moment. Waiting to see if any information becomes available. Punda pushing around the corner, does spot one. Nice shots there. Unfortunately not able to connect though. Will be forced to fall back there. You have their teammates still holding closely on side, however. No one's exchanged a significant blow as yet. Mike taking a bit of damage, forced to fall off. still considering their options, but A could be the play as their teammates start to creep up.
Yeah, the rotation's called. Great little shot from Seiko taking out X. That's the top of Jen. And now this puts the pressure on for the side of Rain to rotate. And you can see that Mike doesn't have to go anywhere. Takes the rendezvous, picks it back up as well for good measure. What? They'll take Mercer on the initial engagement, but up come Gym Fan Club into the site. The spike plant kinetic. A little walkout for My Shoe could be good. Looks for a second. Great little conversation starter. My Shoe finding 3. Andy now to whip the knives out. 2 players, both red HP and Andy in a 1v2. Always tricky and punch it up, and he does. Andy finds 3 in his return. 2 back finding 3 for Gym Fan Club. Matt, My Shoe made that doable, but Andy, you can always count on him to clutch.
Absolutely, you know who you can count on. It will be Andy this time around. Take away round at number 3 there for the Gym Fan Club. We'll see if Rain will be able to find some kind of a response here, because they've started off slow and now they're forced into basically an eco again. There's some sheriffs, couple of marshals there. Nope, gonna be the sheriff as well as the Bucky. Looks like we do have the tour de force activated as well for the side of Gym Fan Club, so they're definitely not taking any chances here. They just want to mow through it.
Now you can see Fan Club's going to be walking up the site for free. Nice little wall to plant. Give the good cover. Rain. They can't really do much to answer it. They're out of that site and completely left it up to the cards. Mike with tour de force out. Thinking one on the pudding to minimize dropping both cages here. Trying to walk it up with the Bucky. Trying to get as close as possible to these players on Gym Fan Club. Able to pick up one, but Andy playing close to the wall. Eyes darting back and forth. Andy, he's element right now. Playing against the wall, tour de force. Looking to follow suit. High our drone. There's nothing Rain can do about this. Dart goes to Snowman. Andy spots one. They now know exactly where My Shoe is. Mercer to pick that one up. Sicko falls. 3 left alive. And Gym Fan Club start Icebox off 4-0. Not a round to be found by Rain just yet.
Definitely can tell there's a lot of confidence coming through for Gym Fan Club this time around. Managing to really settle into their element on the attacking side of Icebox here. Looks like the primaries will be back in the hands of Rain once again now. They've got a couple of ults as well there in the Hunter's Fury as well as the Viper's Pit there. So definitely eager to see them come into practice here. Looks like similarly, we do have a Hunter's Fury on the Gym Fan Club side as well. Speaking of ultis, there goes the Viper's Pit. Going to provide some much needed coverage over the A side here. Andy and Co, though, they're not hesitating. They're still going to try and work around it.
There you can see Andy spamming a top. And that's exactly what this player might be lying in wait, but what has dropped off to the belt. Mike looking to walk it up through mid. Toxic Orb goes through. Mike has found a sneaky little angle, but so has minimized. This camera is very deep a spawn. He's minimized all the knowledge that they can't become a B. It's definitely going to be a potential A exec on the cards. Mike has stuck through spawn though, and this camera for minimize hasn't spotted anyone. You can see that they've completely avoided it. Now Gym Fan Club could look to rotate and split over towards B with this ample amount of pressure that Mike's found, but he's been found over towards spawn side, and Rain are able to rotate now.
Ooh, it looks like they will be able to rotate pretty successfully, taking down the spike carrier in Mercer there. 30 seconds to go. They're going to need to retrieve that in a hurry. Speaking of, Sicko, nice shot through the smoke there. Does take out what? My Shoe going to go down as well. All going to be up to minimize now. 1v3 situation. Can hear the enemy scurrying around. Knows one's right around the corner. Minimize, ready for it. Goes for the shot. Sicko will be able to back it up with the trade though. It will be round number 5, going the way of Gym Fan Club. But Tony, that one was a lot closer there. It's great that Rain were able to play off that spike control.
Yeah, you can see that Rain, they had all the potential to hold that one down, but Gym Fan Club just, they were able to split. Right, nobody getting spotted on that camera was a big thing to note. Minimize a very smart, very aggressive camera, but doesn't pay off. Gym Fan Club able to avoid that one and get themselves clear into that split without being spotted. And now looking to just amp up the pressure that little bit more. You can see that Andy getting aggressive with it. Mike already finding that first pick on a Watt, and Rain early loss already. Not the way they want to be starting off this A-side hole.
They can manage to overcome it. Maishu finds one back on a Mirza there. Unfortunately, looks like they are going to be able to trade it out, as a matter of fact. A 2 for 2 there. Jim Fan Club still going to be on top for now, though. Minimize. Holding patiently just outside heaven. Does put the cam up. Will be spotted out immediately, saying, "Peekaboo, I see you." Say goodbye to the camera. They've got their teammate around the corner as well, though. Not for much longer. Punda goes down, and they spot Minimize. And that is round over. Number 6 going the way of Jim Fan Club now. And they have established quite a solid lead.
Yeah, and you can look at it as you see it on top of your board there. Andy 12 and 13. Man, it's always textbook from Andy. Every time we see him on Icebox, he's either atop of the board with stunning numbers, or he's just below that top of the board mark. And well, 4 ultimates available for either side. Rain back to a buy, and it'll be interesting to see how they implement this Yoru to this defense, because it's not the most of defensive agents that you can bring to a defense side of Icebox. And well, for Rain, they're struggling for their defense side. I've seen so many holes been exploited by the side of Jim Fan Club. They take mid aggression, they take site aggression, and then they just rotate out. Rain a little bit slow to the draw, and that leaves site potential for Jim Fan Club in so many of these rounds. You can see high Blade Storm, Andy able to find the first, but a quick trade back from the 2 we spoke of, Minimize and Punda to drop Andy and Mercer. That's the wall gone for the potential exec towards the B site, and Sicko stuck in the out drone, probably going to walk it out. His 2 teammates walking it over towards A. You can see smart call from Rain to put all their eggs in the defense towards B, but that's left the A site completely open for Jim Fan Club to take.
Let's see what they can manage up at here. Looks like they're just going to remain patient on the B side there. Little do they know, it is going to be, in fact, the A take here. Hasn't been completely engaged yet. Jim Fan Club still clearing out the angles here.
30 seconds
But now
left.
that they've managed to gain confidence, no one is going to be there to fight them just yet. Yeah, looking to get it sorted. Hunter's Fury comes out, though. Maishu gets the spot, finds Mike. One more possibly to follow. Netic picks up the spike, knows they're going to have to go for this now or never. Plan is going to come through. Enemies right around the corner, though. That's got to give them anxiety. Netic's been spotted. They need their teammate now more than ever. Slow Orbs coming through there. Sicko holding above in Nest there. Does spot one. Another one above the wall. Ooh, Exos takes him down. And that is going to be the round. Going the way of Rain. So, the comeback is finally here.
Yeah, I was just wondering how long we'd see it go before Rain finally picked that round up, and the retake comes in quickly as it must. And props to my shoe. You know, a bit of an unsung hero here for Rain. We saw the triple in that one round where it came down to the 1v1 against Andy. And it's unfortunately to lose it, but my shoe's been putting up some impressive numbers so far in this first map, and let's go without saying, Rain kind of need a bit more on that. We need to see maybe Punda get aggressive with this Yoru, because, you know, it's not a defensive agent whatsoever, Matt. Yoru, you pick it, you normally want to see it take some initial kills. Go for some early first bloods, go for some early fights, and then just teleport out for Scott free, like you kind of do with the Chamber. It's kind of a different pick, a different style, but very reminiscent of the Chamber that most teams have been incorporating recently. So we now go into it. Quick little pick from Mercer to start this one off, but Mike spotted underneath Tube, trying to get aggressive towards the split early on, and is punished completely.
Let's see if there's going to be more punishment on its way. The operator there does miss the mark. Minimize does actually get shut down by Andy, getting a few shots in, but Andy prevails in the end and gets healed right back up by their teammate Netic. So definitely great support coming through from the team there. Now trying to work their way through middle. They've got things to cover, but luckily a Poison Cloud will at least be able to deal with that position under Tube there. Watt's still going to be scoping it out, though. Does spot one, looking for another shot. Resurrection comes through, and Watt goes down. Mirza, good for 3 so far in the round. And leaving it all up to Maishu now. Holding just patiently at the defender spawn there. Creeping their way up. It's all down to this, Tony. 1 versus 5. They hear the steps around them. Will they be able to keep it alive, or will they succumb to the pressure? It will be Mercer cleaning it up for the 4-piece. 1-7 for Jim Fan Club.
And that's, I guess it comes down to what broke that round was what being in an unfortunate position. You had the great Toxic Orb, as you said, to hold down that underneath tube line. That, of course, Jim Fan Club were coming through, but then it's caught out in the open. 2 players jump Pete across, Mercer and Andy able to get safely over towards that kitchen site, and they just swung Watt for free. It was an easily tradable kill, even if one of them would have fallen. Unfortunate positioning there for Rain in that round. Jim Fan Club continue this lead, Matt. Of course, Rain were able to find a 1, but I'm still yet to see a 2, and of course, this is going to be a big round for them, forced into the buy, and nobody's going to be checking for Minimize up top, though. Drops the spike down, and another picked up, though, traded back by Netic, and Mike leaves it down to the 3v3. Burst stage is still in play. Res not available for either side, though. Exus able to find a headshot angle on top of his own wall. Now has a nice little spot to hold for if Sicko looks to walk through this maze.
Last player standing.
Great kill coming through from Netic there, slipping through the cracks, now trying to set up the site. What? Creeping towards the corner. There's one at least, does shut them down. Sicko still there, hits the shots, their presence is known. Oh, nicely done there with the recon dart. We'll be able to go straight for the plant though. 1v1 situation here, what? Trying to see if they can get through the wall. Oh, they almost get shot by Sicko there through the cracks. Shock dart to come through, doing a little bit of damage. What, desperately trying to find the angle here. But it's in favor now of Jim Fan Club. The angle is in their court here. Looks like they're going to try and go for the defusal. Sicko brings out the Hunter's Fury. Waiting out what there. Doesn't hit the shots. Eventually might be able to hit it in the end. 26 HP and a dream here, Tony. What's just going to send it? Sicko. Oh, Sicko, you need to get there now. Luckily, they manage it. And it will be the round going the way of Rain, Tony.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Sicko. He tagged him half on the ultimate when he stuck it originally. And then pros don't fake, Matt. We hear it time and time again. And it reigns true in that round for Rain. Finally able to pick up the second, but Matt, their economy's in shambles. They lost so many players, it came down to the 1v1 there. And a few of them are stuck to half shields, and they're only just able to squeak out a buy into this one. They've got 3 ultimates. You see Bunda, Want, and Minimize all with their ultimates respectively, but the tour de force out for Mike is available. And this is where we can see Jim Fan Club just go back to their tried and tested ways, try to split the site, and for Rain, they're going to have to be quick on this rotate.
Just how quick they can be. Andy already starting off strong there. Takes down Exos. Walking their way straight down the tube. Slipping away from the battle. Minimize. Playing a very cheeky angle here next to Yellow. Will be spotted. Ooh. Takes one down with them. Traded off quickly though by Netic. Now going to be trying to get that spike down immediately. And so too it will go. Now pushed into the retake is Rain. They already pick up one there. Forcing their way straight onto the site. Mike's ready though. Sicko gets in on the action. One more to go. And it all comes down to Bunda. There it is. Mike doing great work there. We'll be able to take us now 2-8 for Jim Fan Club.
And yeah, we're gonna be seeing another technical pause. That was the reason I was umming and ahhing, Matt. We lost Andy after that aggressive picks. Of course, we can't match medic that round because damage was already dealt. So the round goes to Jim Fan Club. Andy taking that first duel and then DCing is a very interesting thing because the pressure's still kind of there for anybody going kitchen, Matt. If Andy's, you know, still lurking around that spot, it's kind of hard to go for that retake, and you saw that Rain kind of just had to full send it out towards the default site, and, well, a great little wraparound underneath the tube from Mike, keeping that mid-pressure up that Jim Fan Club have been showing so far this game, and for Rain, it's an unfortunate end now to this half, because, of course, they're not able to buy into this one, and then it's going to be a squeak-together buy for the final round of this half. Jim Fan Club really running away with Icebox, Matt, and this is not what I was expecting. Against a team like Rain, especially, who have shown that they're flexible to play all these maps, Jim Fan Club really are coming alive.
Certainly showing flexibility over their own here, rising and shining bright like a phoenix here. See if they can continue it into the second half, though. 2 rounds to go here. Best scoreline they can hope for is 10-2. But the best scoreline Rain can hope for is going to be that 4-8 scoreline, maybe even 3-9, depending on how this round upcoming plays out. Obviously, just waiting on one player to make their return to the server due to some technical difficulties there, but alas, does give the players a bit of time to reflect on the rounds past and try and see if they can restructure their strategies heading into the remainder of map number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, especially considering, I feel for Rain overall, as we said, they kind of won the veto. Pearl being up next, their pick, and for a team like Jim Fan Club, we haven't yet to see Pearl from either of these teams or anybody in the Oceanic region. So it's going to be our first taste of what OST is capable of, especially on the new map. And for a team like Rain, they kind of expected to show some good form. You know, you've got some heavy individuals here that like to do a lot of research, like to do a lot of theory crafting, what Minimize as well as Punda like to do a heavy amount of work behind the scenes, especially in custom games, especially in those scrims. They like to try anything they can that they think could work, and well, for the moment, nothing seems to be working right. Jim Fan Club just putting ample amount of pressure, so many splits, so many plays that Rain just aren't ready for and aren't ready to rotate against either.
We'll see if their readiness will improve over time. Looks like we are just waiting for the players to be ready to rumble here. Obviously, remaining in this half, we've got a few ultimates on both teams there. Looks like there is going to be 3 on Rain's side of things and 2 on the Jim Fan Club side of things. Definitely a lot of utility that they can play with here. We'll see if Rain managed to tap into the Aura ult here, because I feel like that definitely does have a lot of potential for them to make some counterplay here, especially heading into the last round of the half where their economy might be a bit more stable. We'll see how it comes into play though. Minimize already going for a very aggressive play, but they get caught out in the nest there, and so they'll be buried alive.
A beautiful read by Jim Fan Club, send the dart, and then send the shots through the wall. Nothing Minimize can do. He could maybe preempt wallbang them back, but again, you're a sitting duck at the end of the day. And you're going to be taking out Xsus, and Jim Fan Club come blasting through this site though. Shorties and pistols doing it. What? Takes 2 players. Now it's just up to Mike. 3v1. As all of a sudden, Shorty and Sheriffs do the work necessary. Our drone from my shoe and Mike now to face down 3. It's Thrifty for the second last round of that half. Matt and Watts was that.
Last round before the switch.
The only thing you can really say about that. Some beautiful shots from the Sheriff. Watt picking up 3. Rain stay alive for a few more rounds in this half.
That certainly would be a nasty surprise to the side of Jim Fan Club there. Not going to be expecting the Ego Buy to do that much, but at least it does re-establish the confidence and morale on the Rain side, especially heading into this last round of the half here. You can see they got the Operators, got the primary weapons coming through in the Vandals, but looks like already they've got a kill. Minimize raining down hell there for their team and finding 2 now. This is a fantastic start on the B side of defense. What goes down in consequence?
A quick little trade back, but Merza finding Minimize finds the site here for Jim Fan Club. That dart is going to go a very long way, potentially sent towards where the clone and Punda is. The second one finds Merza though. You can always count on my shoe to have some nasty lineups, and that double shock kind of sets the play awry for the moment. You see that Mike, high position. Sicko going to be sending one back of his own. Forces the Rain players to play a little bit further back, but for the side of Jim Fan Club, they need to get into this site. They need to grab that spike. Mike will be dropping, looking to go for the plant. Sicko just laying down shots, slow orbs flight. And so will the recon. They have spotted up Mike. Xsus. Cheeky little boost will get top site. Mike. Now Xsus is going to drop in, and Mike finds the shot. Beautiful held angle by Sicko. My shoot. Trying to get through that wall. Of course, a little bit of a gap left by his teammate, but in the end, the round is gapped. Jim Fan Club 9-3 the first half.
Definitely a lot of confidence being displayed from them in that first half there. You can see some remnants, though, of confidence being brought to light here from the side of Rain as well. Heading into their own attacker side, we'll see if they can embody some of that confidence that we just saw from a Gym fan club here as well. This pistol round heading into the second half is definitely going to be critical to dictate exactly which way this game's going to flow. Whether we do see a few more rounds being stolen by the side of Gym fan club there, heading into double digits, going 10, maybe even 11 or more. Whether we do see first steps towards a comeback from Rain here. It's all going to be tested as we head straight into it now. They play patiently early on here, just going for map control, waiting to see if the enemies are pushing them before going for something more substantial. Mike, though, has no patience and will push straight into it. Goes down to minimize there. Great start there from Rain.
Yeah, you can see Punda deeper spawn. Nobody. He's going to be holding this front B take when Punda's coming from their spawn side. Mers a quick trade, but Sicko losing life there is not what Gym fan club are after right now. Spamming that ghost through that wall. Mercer just trying to hold it down for the moment. Recon is spotting up the position. Exos finding Nedic, and it's still a rough retake now to go for if you're Gym fan club. Still Mercer pinned towards Snowman. High Aldrin spots up Andy. Both players are known to the side of Rain, so they're going to have to play it together. They're going to have to infiltrate this site perfectly. Frenzy shot in, and spray comes through. Just a wild one from Andy. Fighting 3 with the Frenzy, and Rain, they were all positioned for a great hold there, but Gym fan club, they could have done that.
They managed to get the job done there, just like Bob the Builder. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. And their problems will be fixed there, taking away the pistol round, heading into the second half here. Definitely going to be a great booster for them, but you can see the response already. Rain, no, they can't afford them to have free reign over this game here. They need to put up a stand, and they need to do it now. And so a bit of a force buy has been brought to light here. The Stinger's coming through, alongside the Spectre and a couple of the Sheriffs there. Definitely eager to see if it will benefit them, whether this could cost them a lot more than just a couple of rounds.
Yeah, this is a bit worrying now if you decide to Rain, Mike. Using that rendezvous to perfection. Pixel perfect, finding Punda. Former teammates now on opposite sides of each other. Minimize on the opposite side of the site. Taken has walked it up for the flame. This is a few too many shots, but still picks up a few more. Sicko and Mike to fall to minimize the Sheriff, but it's all over and it's lights out like that. As the wrap comes in from Mercer. A valiant attempt from Minimize, but needed a few more shots, Matt, and he would have been able to find some more kills there on the side of Rain, and they could have looked to take that site. It's 11-3. Gym fan club stealing hearts and stealing away this first map, potentially, because they're picked, so I have to give them props. They're playing it as textbook as he expected out of them. You can see 23-7 out of Andy, bringing out the judge, keeping the money as high as possible going into this force buy from Rain.
Let's see if they can make something of it here. Looks like Rain already going to be caught out there. Sicko, nice shot with the classics. Just now minimize. White to respond back, though, taking down Andy. Already Rain trying to go for a bit of map control here. Each player dedicated to different sections of the map. Now leaving one player to lurk, however. Waiting for their moment. Punda. They could find something out of it. No, they will be found. Nedic. Good to catch that one. Giving the advantage back towards Gym fan club. But now it's Nedic against the last 3 players for Rain. Great slow orb to delay here. Easily can get a teammate rotating over. But they're going to have to hold it on their own for now.
And will be spotted up by the recon. Great little one put there by My Shoot. Comes out with a bulldog. Hits the dink. On a Sicko, the shock flies a little bit. Alright. But now, Rain have the site. They have a few guns to work with. The judge for what? Takes out Mike and Snake Spite now towards screens. This stops the push back in from Mercer. Jump around the corner with the judge. Double dink up. Mercer's low, and this is a doable hold here for both remaining Rain players. Just on this force, Bulldog and Sheriff seem to be getting it all done. Exus and My Shoe with a perfect cross. Nobody gets through screens or through Heaven Rafter. It's 4th here to Rain.
Well played by Rain there, taking away another round for themselves here. But both teams are going to be on even footing here, heading into the fourth round of the second half. Obviously, do have the rifles being established here on both sides. Andy just going to be donning the pistol this time, considering they have the Bladestorm available. Can definitely respect that. If they get one kill, they've got a weapon on them anyway. Looks like we are going to be pushing into the round now, though. Bladestorm immediately activated. Andy getting caught like a fly in a fly trap there. Nice response from Mike, though, with the rendezvous. 1-for-1 trade. And this is only the start.
That's the only start of something great here for Rain. Potentially My Shoe looking to wrap up to A. Looking to wrap the spawn. Sicker wasn't expecting that one. Deep teleport. Now the wrap is going to be towards A. Netic needs to be cautious of his backside. He will be checking for it, though. The walkout screens see minimized, though. Holding onto the tube. Mercer getting a little bit aggressive, trying to get underneath, though. The teleport's heard by Netic. He's now playing this perfectly. Needs to get out. Needs to get out scot-free. Up top is Punda now. Classic in hand. Mike to back up, and we're now down to it. It's minimized just left. Lurking from mid. Now needs to take this site on their own. Mike, Netic, hold back the side. They're just going to double up. They don't need to play any one-and-done angles here. They can play together, play the trades. Spike's been spotted by Minimize, but now he needs to know where the players are. Trip. Cypher Trip takes it. Netic, perfect shot. And great hold. Netic, normally an aggressive player. And not every day we get to see him on a Sentinel in a role like this and on a team like this. Netic shone up huge there to find Gym Fan Club their 12th.
Definitely key to be able to make those impact frags there, be able to really do well for your team, as that will be able to push them over the line towards map point here in map number 1. And then we'll be heading straight towards the lovely Pearl, Tony. But another round ahead of us for now. Rain gonna be trying to hold things out. Looking to push up towards the B site, leaving one player to lurk just outside of A. Exus already getting shut down, though. Andy trying to back it up. Will be shut down themselves. Mike good with the trade and the rendezvous there, though. Does keep the man advantage for now, but it will be quickly quelled by Punda. Looking to get that spike down as hastily as possible. Mirza stops them in their tracks, though. Almost taking out 2 players. Will be forced to back off there. Punda trying to play around the smoke now. Gonna see if they can get anything. Mirza backs it up again, over and over again. It's the Mirza show, baby. And they will take away map number 1 for Gym Fan Club.
Yeah, Matt, you said it was 2 players. He always hit the whip onto Punda and his clones. Very much great stuff out of Gym Fan Club. 13-4. I said, you know, even if Rain were to drop this first map, they've still got that kind of buffer, but you don't want to be losing it in that quick a succession. Gym Fan Club coming out full force. Andy, 24-10. This man is always a demon to look for, Matt. 373 average combat score, 5 first bloods, even as well. The rest of his team getting involved in that first blood department. Mike, 4. Mercer and Sicko, both 2 respectively, and as well, Netic, 6 plants. Everybody on Gym Fan Club doing their role perfectly, and I have to say, for Rain, I still don't know how to feel about this Cypher Yoru comp brought to Icebox, Matt. Maybe a little bit more time is needed for that one to really show its full force, but I have to say, Gym Fan Club, a stunning first map.
That really synergized well heading into that first map there. You could tell, you know, they were just like a well-oiled machine there, working together so magnificently in unison. But it's as you said, Rain's comp, unfortunately not shining to the heights that they were hoping to reach there, but hopefully they're going to be able to run it back on map number 2, and we could see things go all the way into map number 3 on Bind. But heading into the Pearl, Tony, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, and especially if Rain are experimenting with their comp, we might see some crazy stuff going into Pearl. Maybe we'll see a Neon, maybe we'll see an Astra, who knows. I believe, you know, Viper always a common pick for a map like Pearl, especially from what we've seen in, I guess, the ranked queues. But of course, we haven't seen it in comp yet. We don't know what these teams are capable of. Matt, this is going to be an interesting one, and you don't want to miss it, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break. While we set up for Pearl, don't go anywhere, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be back with more Valorant Open Series 2 action. Well, fancy seeing you guys back here. Welcome back to the Open Series 2 here, brought to you by Computer Alliance and Intel. Matt, we saw a blowout first map on Icebox. Ice cold, some would say, from the Gym fan club. Ice flowing through their veins. And we'll now go to Pearl, is Rain's pick. And we haven't seen Pearl competitively, and especially in the Oceanic scene just yet. So this is going to be an interesting one to see comps-wise. Of course, Rain experimenting a little bit in that last map, maybe looking to bring something new as well to this one. But for the side of Gym Fan Club, coming out ahead in that first map, definitely going to be a big boon to their confidence going into the second one.
Yeah, definitely going to be a nice booster for them heading into map number 2 on Pearl here. So I'm eager to see if Gym Fan Club can really emulate some similar kind of play heading into Pearl, you know, because obviously some teams may not have a real grasp on this newer map as yet. You know, it could be a bit higgledy-piggledy to say the least on this one, Tony. But you know what? I'm all for it. I'm very excited to see exactly what we're going to catch from these teams. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but you know what? I'm all for it. The strategy, Tony, just send it, boys.
Yeah, and I guess to speak about strategy, what kind of comps we expected to see? Maybe we see a Brimstone, maybe we see the double controller, the Viper Astra expected. Maybe Astra's kind of fallen out a little bit, but had a bit of a resurgent Viper, always been a prominent pick to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how this one fares, Matt, because as well, the team's first time on this map, it's also our first time, so hopefully excuse any misjudged or miscalled comms, because, you know, we're all just kind of working out the map here, and I imagine this is going to be an interesting one for Gym Fan Club as well, because, you know, we came into this this season, this Open Series 2, and we're like, all right, Gym Fan Club, a new kids on the block with, you know, a different look roster and a lot of experienced players, but ones that haven't played competitively on Pearl especially.
And it looks like, speaking of the map, we are getting straight into agent selection here. To have a few interesting picks being hovered there. Viper going to be namely the first one locked in by Gym Fan Club. Mirza going to be the one behind that one. Medic and Co. hovering over the fade there as well as Chamber. Got a few interesting agents to come through. Looks like Sicko is going to be donning the Raze this time, and Punda rather, is going to be donning the Raze as well. Signature agent for them. Fade's coming out on both sides now, and Viper's a little bit of a mirror matchup with a few key differences there in the breach. Going through for Rain there, the Yoru going to be on Gym Fan Club this time. And Mike looking to potentially lock in that Chamber. Definitely eager to see which of these two comps will come out on top, Tony, because now that we do have Punda on that Raze, we know what Punda's capable of on that one.
Yeah, we know what Punda's capable of. We've seen some crazy satchel movement from him previously in, you know, last Open Series. Even this one, we've seen some crazy stuff out of Punda already. It's interesting to look at these kind of comps and, you know, really dissect it. A lot of these teams really opting for the fade meta, especially on a map like Ascent, and especially it seems like Pearl's not anything different. And of course, you see B-site in front of you with our map little fly over and our lovely little video fly over. A very open site, so you can kind of use the haunt information to just really clear the site completely, especially with the Viper wall going up. I expect Gym Fan Club or even Rain for that example. You see Breach as well in the mix. Flashes are good, and then you've got that stabilizing presence of the Chamber that we didn't get to see Rain pick in the last map. They will be bringing it this one. So now going to Pearl map number 2. It's Rain's pick here. Gym Fan Club 13-4 last maps, and they've got a 1-0 lead in the series. And it's up to Rain to really put all their cards on the line here, especially on the second map.
Heading into the Pearl here, we'll see if they can send it just like the boat, Tony. The Black Pearl there coming at you like a Jack Sparrow here. Heading into the wonderful map of Pearl. Looks like on the attacker side of Rain here, they are going to be set up just outside their spawn, looking to see if they can push either towards top mid perhaps, or towards the restaurant side of things. Looks like they are going to be setting up the utility early on though, just trying to cut things off there. Mirza forced to hold things out. They're lonesome for now. Do have a teammate at least coming to unite with them, however. Punda does spot them, however. What going to be the first one to shut down Mirza there? Spike going straight down. And that's the A site.
They have the site, and now they can play as safe as possible. Backed all the way out to main is 3 players. What going to be tucked in that corner? And especially for a map like this, Matt, you have to clear every corner. Mike knows it exactly. Headhunter to find 2. Netic to find the other 2. Great clear of what in that corner. That could have been a detrimental blow to the retake here from the side of Jim Fan Club. But they get it done, Matt.
Okay.
2 kills apiece for Netic Mike and a defused pistol being picked up. And I have to say, it looked very calm from Jim Fan Club. Rain, they got into that site explosively, and then Jim Fan Club kind of just walked, took the gunfights, and Rain all stacking towards A main. I don't know if that's the call. Maybe needed to swap up, hold some crossfires, but well played by Jim Fan Club.
Yeah, great play from them so far. You can see that it looks like they're managing to really maneuver that confidence we saw from map 1 straight into map 2 here, taking away the pistol round there. And they're looking to do a bit more than that as well, heading into round 2 here. Rain just picking up some minor additions this time. Marshall, they got the Sheriff as well as the Shorty there. And already they found a nice kill there. Mike starting hunting season strong, managing to take out Exas. Looks like they are just going to be holding outside the ramp. Andy getting a slice of the pie as well. Mike, though, gets shot through, does pick up what? And it will be my shoe to send it straight back. Well-placed shot coming through there. Andy goes down as well. Okay, my shoe, I see you.
And take them as they come. My shoe. Great little 2 back towards that B site. You can see Rain now in a more favorable position to take this side. Sicko as well as Netic, though, over towards the hall and over towards the connector side of things. See, Minimize looking to wrap around through Art, but needs to come help his teammate in just a second, or maybe could look to get behind one of these players. Cheeky little check towards Connector, looking to go down through Sewer in just a second, but it is being held, I believe, by Netic. Great little angle towards this link side of B. This is so hard to take if you're Rain right now. You have to clear so many corners, but you also have to be so cautious of where any of these players can be from Jim Fan Club. It is Sicko to pick up, Minimize. Spike in the hands of My Shoe, who's been an unsung hero of this round so far. Map 3 already. Netic tossing out the haunts and going a little bit over-aggressive for the swing. 5 seconds now to get that spike down. Will be able to get it into that corner. My Shoe sends out the Prowler, but Mirza is just going to hold for the swing and hold for the angle. Lets him know that was a crucial 1v1 to win for Jim Fan Club. And it didn't have to come down to that. Too many players, I believe, over-peaking against My Shoe, and was able to get 4. He's able to get himself halfway, or actually fully charged to that ultimate. That Nightfall's now available into this 3rd round for Rain.
Definitely can see that a lot of confidence coming through for Rain there into round number 2. Almost managing to snatch it away from the likes of Jim Fan Club there. Looks like Jim Fan Club are really going to have to work hard for it as well. We'll see how round at number 3 plays out, though. Losing almost all of their players, definitely going to be a detriment to their economy. You can see that Rain picking up the primaries here. Jim Fan Club just going to be holding out. Sicko the only one with a Vandal this time. The rest just going to be stuck on the pistols here. So we'll see if they might be able to find the success that they found in the previous 2 rounds. Looks like the attack this time, though, is going straight towards B. They've only got 1 defender there to try and hold it off in Mirza.
And I have to say, it's an interesting little wall that Mirza's opted to incorporate a more aggressive one as opposed to Rain's kind of default style flash fault line over towards the site, and My Shoe's just going to play it in that same corner. Mirza can look to hold for it, but will not be so lucky this time. Exar's looking to peek from the back hall. 4 to force out from Mike to trade back the blow and Minimize. Able to walk back up. Mike, though, with his tour de force just coming out and taking gunfight after gunfight against Rain with these guns that probably want to keep them in place. Sicko now to a Vandal. No shields. 56 HP. Will look to tap the spike with the paint shell. The blast pack is out. He's just going to take the fight against what? His teammate, his former teammate, falls. Sicko. A beautiful 1v1. Playing with the info that what has to swing that. And the clutch is won. Sicko, the clutch king. Normally, Matt, we haven't seen him clutch in quite a while. It's back to the days of old 3-0 Jim Fan Club.
Definitely loving the power that they're showing us this evening, Tony, and I feel like this is only the beginning for them. There's a lot more that they're capable of, and we're certainly going to have that chance to see it. Round number 4 now, though. Rain still got enough money to deal a bit of pain towards their enemies, seeing the Vandals coming through alongside the Phantom Inspector there. Looks like they've also got one ultimate available as well, which could be key for them. Bunda, though, pushes straight into enemy lines, gets shut down by Netic. Good start there for the side of Jim Fan Club. Already 5v4. Looks like now Rain are trying to push through A main, though, to get the spot. They're aware of Mercer's position. Flashpoint to come through there. Here we go. The ultimate's activated. Now let's see if Rain can make it happen.
Yeah, you can see though, not actually going to be completely denied by the Fade util and all the info that Jim Fan Club have. Big little pickup, and I have to say the great timing of the C's and the Haunts out of Netic really stopped that hit from coming in. Jim Fan Club, not only are they good at the attack, but Matt, they're good at the defense too. You can see 4-0 start Jim Fan Club on this defense side, and well, it's just I guess an unfortunate thing to see for Rain right now, especially going into these next few rounds. They have Light Shield forced a few pistols out, and well, they're going to have to wait for the rifle potentially. This is where Jim Fan Club could really start to make some pressure on, especially on Rain's map pick. This is not what I was expecting.
Let's see if expectations continue to be defied here. Andy looking to push the corner. Spots one, but he is backed up there by Minimize. Great start there for Rain. Netic good to trade it out, though. Bunda could be caught between a rock and a hard place there if they do reveal themselves. Luckily, will be tucked away safely for now. Rain trying their best to establish some kind of presence, though, towards mid-palace at the moment. Trying to see if they can push either mid-doors or otherwise towards the art side of the map there. Looks like they're just pondering on their options with just under a minute to go for now. What? Making preparations as well. Trying to make a bait towards the B site while the rest push A. Netic gets the spot on one. Spike carriers down there. That's key information. The Prowl comes out as well. Netic trying their best to keep him away. Sicko joins in as well, taking down What there. Netic catching another one. Bunda good to fight back though. 1 versus 3 now. 25 HP and a dream. See if they can make their dreams come true.
25 HP, looking to walk it up through Plaza and potentially towards the spawn. That's 20 seconds to get to a site, Matt, and over towards A, I don't really think that's the way to go, especially with 2 players around that art position, holding that connector. Putting it is going to look to Satchel in, come through with a shorty, lying in hands, and ready to catch him when he lands is Mirza. 5-0 start Jim Fan Club. A valiant effort for Rain on the Force or the Eco. And now to a Vi, Matt. 2 ultimates online. Minimize and What? The Viper's Pit and the Concussion could come towards this site. But Netic got the Nightfall. Mirza's got the Viper's Pit too. And the way Jim Fan Club have been holding this, they've just been taking aggressive fights. And Rain getting caught off guard. And you can't really blame him, Matt. There's so many corners to check on this map. Rain just struggling to clear them all for the moment.
It's definitely going to be a struggle, that is for sure, even heading into the second half as well. Looks like already the utility is coming out here. Rain going to be trying to play through towards the top middle there. See if they can catch anything. Utility's already making them struggle their way through. There it is. We have the Nightfall coming through. Maishu gets a kill on the Mirza there. Great start there for both sides as Mike joins in as well. Will be the 4-on-4 situation here. Looks like Netic trying to get a slice of the pie here. Rain, though, getting the majority. 1 versus 3 now for Jim Fan Club. And there it is. A redemption for Rain as they shut them down.
That was a bit of a meat blender there. Someone call it a meat pie, Matt. There, everybody amongst that art position, and unfortunately for Jim Fan Club, they kind of just took losing angles. Rain were able to just hold. They didn't even need to go to the site if Jim Fan Club are going to come to them. 5-1 scoreline. Rain a much needed round to keep them into this one early on, because now they have a little bit more of a stable economy, and they've actually broken Jim Fan Clubs. You can see everybody now around that kind of under 1,000 credit mark, and Sicko now Showstopper online. Andy as well does have his ultimate in play. The Viper's Pit will be popped, and Andy getting aggressive for a pick on the Punda.
Great pick indeed. Another one, a good follow. Exus trying desperately to shut down Netic there. Getting caught on the box there. Maishu trying their best to stay alive. Goes down eventually. Mike pushing up as well. Andy going to be able to shut down Exus. 2-on-5 situation now, and the flanks in order as well.
Last
See,
player standing.
there it is. Andy
Spike
creeps
down
up behind there. Being all down
my.
to Watt. Watt gonna try and hold steady, tries to follow, but the satchels are just too quick, and Mirza will be able to cut through and take away round number 6 there. What a way to come back into it, Tony.
I applaud Sicko there. The paint shell lineup directly behind the box corner where the last player of Rain was holding Watt just kind of didn't know what hit him, and then the double satchel Sicko just comes flying across his screen. He's trying to hit him, but as 2 more players swing, nothing really Watt can do. 6-1 scoreline here. The defense playing also like the attack here. Matt Jim Fan Club are just all over it in this series so far, and I have to say, Rain, this is not what we expected to see out of them. Great little flash out in the Yorus. And Sicko here to back up Andy in a drop of a hat, as you can see that Rain posing a threat towards B yet again.
We'll see if they can say threat neutralized soon. Andy, nice kill so far. Rolling Thunder comes through, as well as the showstopper there. Mike does manage to pull through and get the kill on minimized there. Somehow, showstopper not hitting the mark there. Mike will go down with it. Now Rain desperately trying to get that side control. And their way up. Andy, nice spray down. Sitting on the snake bite there. It does survive it. And all on Watt here. Playing around the corner. And Sicko pulls through. 7-1. Jim Fan Club.
I'll tell you what, Matt, I'm going to have to start hitting the gym with Jim Fan Club, because they're swole and strong in this map. You can see that they're just taking such aggressive angles, but of course very passive ones at that too. Andy back of sight, just able to jiggle through that back hall, and nothing really Rain could do. They don't have any util left to flush that angle out. Of course with Breach, normally you see a flash or a fault line towards that direction, but they lost Minimize early, and that's just unfortunate. You can see now the ultimate coming out, the dimensional drift from Andy, just for the info. He's going to toss a flash in, teleport maybe behind that wall, toss out a flash of his own too. Andy's just throwing everything, the kitchen sink at Rain, and Rose is going to get out scot-free. And now Rain need to explode to this site. They need to exploit this weakness. The Nightfall comes out, and this is where Jim Fan Club need to batten down the hatches. As the peaks come through, it's all Sicko stuck in this corner, not left much to do. Exus to find the kill. And Rain, they breathe a sigh of relief, man. They find themselves a second.
It's definitely going to inspire some further confidence for them there, because things were already looking a little sticky in the first half here, but at least they have managed to take 2 rounds so far. Positive thing for them would be to take every single one going forward. But Jim Fan Club aren't just going to roll over. They're going to have to work for it if they want to take any more rounds going forward here. 2 ultimates available on the attack, though. Might be able to achieve it here. Speaking of, one already gets activated there on both sides. Tour de Force available. Bunda trying to spot things out. Exus supports them. Andy goes down as Sicko now using the boom bot there to try and clear some space. But Rain managed to bring down Pain, take complete control of the B side here. And the spike should be soon to follow.
Spike to go down. You can see that Sicko's in a prime position, ready to trade back, but the rendezvous out. Tour de Force, Exus scoped in on Mike, expected to see a position be Pete's, and Rain, for once in this game so far, they have control of that B site. Prowler comes out from Netic, looking to swing straight into the off. Punda, Berza trying to sneak the way in, but they're not going to expect Minimize underneath the main position, underneath the heaven. I shoot to find it in the third. Picked up by Rain. It's 2 subsequently in a row. That's the first time, Matt, we've seen Rain pick up 2 in a row.
Definitely shows that change has been inspired here. They're starting to get warmed up to this map. I definitely feel like there could be more good things ahead of them, as the economy on the side of Jim Fan Club not looking to be in the best straits. At least they've got enough money for this round, but rounds going forward may be a bit more hazardous. There's only this one and the next one left, though. Looks like the blinding will come through there. Rain already looking for some control. Sicko ready for them this time. Does catch Punda there. Backing it up with the boom bot. Minimize now, trying to clear out the sights. They can go straight for the plant here. Will be forced to hold the corner there. What goes down? Minimize ready to try and spray down. Does catch nobody. They shut them down adequately. And it will be Gym Fan Club backing it up again. Round number 8 in their favor.
Last round in the half. There.
And Matt, the interesting thing to note there was you could see Gym Fan Club held that site down with no clear sightlines. That Viper wall and all that Viper utility just covering a shroud of mist in front of Gym Fan Club. It doesn't matter though. Great little hold. Sicko backs off after finding that initial engagement against Punda. And Matt, it's not every day you see Punda at this bottom of the barrel margin, 3-9. Normally, we've heralded him as an explosive duelist, an explosive entry player. We're just struggling to find them right now as, well, he flies out once again with the satchels over towards the A site this time. 2 players already here for Gym Fan Club. We saw in a previous, Rain were actually able to get it done. They just exploded in and took the fight to Gym Fan Club. Gym Fan Club, they've rotated all 5 members over here already.
Get ready for it, Tony. They know what could be ahead of them. Mike goes down already. Nedic not able to trade it. Minimize. Good to find another here. Already 3-on-5 situation. It's not irredeemable though. Sicko could be at the start of something new here. Mirza actually going to be the opener. Minimize goes down as well. 3-on-3. It's even Stevens. Maishu, here's the steps. Hesitant to push the corner just yet though. Waiting patiently around the art district, seeing if anyone will be spotted. It will be what? And a Sicko facing each other eye to eye. Maishu picking up at the end of that one and taking the advantage back towards Rain here. Looks like there's a flank in order though. Mirza being a bit sneaky here while their teammate holds the front lines. Let's see if Andy can manage to hold them off long enough for this flank to work out.
Ooh, shot from Andy, but an immediate trade access. Great position over towards that hallway. You can see now, Plant looking to go down. Mercer can look to play spoils here, but of course, Exus. Beautiful position being held in flowers, and nothing really he could do about that one. Rain pick up the 4th, Matt. They're able to find the 8-4 this time. And for the side of Gym Fan Club, you can now see enter the attack, and this is where it gets that little bit more scary. This is where the Yoru really starts to come alive. 10-7 for Andy on the defensive. Now to the attack and look to clear angles lightning quick with a few flashes, especially with Nedic now to that attacking side. We saw some good use of the util at a Nedic so far, and that's a key little thing I want to note now going into this one. Whether we see that same kind of impact with the util that we saw from that first half.
There.
We'll see if we get it heading in to half at number 2 here. Gym Fan Club coming out on top again, but Rain showing some glimpses of hope here. They've managed to take a few rounds of their own. If they can find the pistol, they might just have a smooth path ahead of them. Looks like they are just going to be playing for control early on though. Punda, nice kill onto Andy. The rest of the enemies, however, pushing towards B. Exas, good with the headhunter there. Does find Mike. 3-on-5 already. Not going to be able to back it up anymore as Nedic shuts it down there. Mike not coming down yet. Sicko, good with the classic. Almost second down, both of them. Ultimately does end up with a lot of damage done though. Maishu and Go all will be able to do the work. And Rain hone in on it. Take away the pistol for themselves with number 5 under their banner.
You never count Sicko out with a classic, though. Some good damage being dealt, and a very scary predicament if you're Rain going into that retake, especially with Sicko holding such an aggressive position. But Frenzy meta seems to be the thing for a few of these Oceanic teams in Pistol, Matt, and we've seen it do good, we've also seen it do bad. Frenzy, not too bad of a pistol, though. It's fast fire rate, and especially in those close range engagements, you kind of want a pistol like that for that situation. You can get some quick picks in the sight, and the other team won't really know what hit them. For the side of Gym Fan Club, they forced out 3 marshals. They're looking to play aggressive towards this ramp, and Try to catch out an early pick to Exos though, rendezvous and takes a more safer angle and gets a tag on to Mike before falling fully back.
See what they can manage up at here. Spike does go down for Jim Fan Club, taking a lot of damage in the process. Mirza doing some back though, almost gets the kill. Bunda will be able to find the first there with the judge. Mike responding back, Exos doing the same. It's all just a bloodbath at the moment. Looking for more kills on both sides. Sicko going to be able to pick it up with a Marshall. Everybody's going down though. It's all on Mike, and Mike perishes. Rain hone in on it again. A takeaway number 6. But another spike plan for Jim Fan Club. So they're at least doing bits to try and stabilize their economy here.
Yeah, they're able to secure the money from the plant, and also an interesting thing to note that Jim Fan Club opting for those 3 marshals, they were playing for that post plan perfectly, and you saw taking aggressive fights towards ramp. Unfortunately, Rain were able to win them out, but I have to give a thumbs up to Rain. Sorry, to Jim Fan Club in that one. They almost got it done. Now, though, to Rain, more rounds that we're seeing from that first map. 6 already on the board, and could look to tie it up. Just a few more. A few Vandals out to play with the Guardian for minimize. Well, for the side of Jim Fan Club, in this one, Matt, they kind of really just want to steal away a gun, get aggressive as possible with said gun, and then take a site from there. But for the moment, I have done some good early damage here onto my shoe.
Here.
We'll see if they can do a little bit more. Heading forward, Mike taking point. Does spot what there. We'll be able to slip away with the rendezvous. Lucky for them. Bunda looking to back it up though. Andy goes down. 29 HP on Bunda. We'll see if they can find something else out of it. Does Rain take man advantage early on here? They're looking for a bit more. Sicko going to be able to put the body to the floor there and minimize. And another one bites the dust. Lots of work already being done with these weapons here. Mirza joining in as well. And it looks like they're doing even more damage. Jim Fan Club not having any of it here.
Yeah, you can't be losing those against Stinger Mirza. I have to say, an impressive display of marksmanship. There's guns here. Sicko's pinging for his teammates to come get if they want him. Exos.
Teleport's ready.
Now, just gonna have to sit. Just gonna have to save. I mean, of course, Rain, they don't have the most stable of economy. This one was teetering on a knife's edge. Rain, they were able to pick it up, then they could really start to close the gap, but the gap might just look to be a little bit more widened. Haunt comes out, Exos not spotted. But Mike has a sinking feeling that he's sitting back in the tower. Too slow. Exos to chamber diff Mike. Still needs to keep a hold of that Vandal, so he's just going to play as safe as possible. Paint shells through, the teleport's gone. Exos now in this corner, still able to hold it. Takes another off Enetic. Guns taken away from Jim Fan Club. They're not going to be feeling too sour, Matt. That was just an eco floor spy for them. And Rain were the one to lose it. 9-6 go our scoreline. And Matt, it's not every day, or really we utter this sentence at all. Sicko on the duelist, and he's popping off. 16-7.
Definitely playing quite impressively so far, but this is only the beginning, Tony. Still plenty more depth to this game to be unfolded. And Exos could be the one to do it. Going for the shots. Andy picks it up early on there. Met with lots of utility, though, is the side of Jim Fan Club. But hey, they got a kill. Bunda does find one straight back, however. Unfortunate for Mirza there. Now Jim Fan Club left to try and reevaluate their options. It looks like Mike is already taking point, though. Could be met by an enemy around the corner, however. Ah, no, they get the kill. That's the opening. They can run it straight over to A.
Yeah, it's completely clear. Just go through Flower, go through Sewer, go through Connector, go through Art. Yeah, we're in complete lockdown. Nobody here, even over towards main. Sticko is just going to fly in a sight with the C's coming in. Andy, oh, this is such a dirty, dirty spot. Peeks onto Art, finds Minimize, lacking, catches another onto what? And Link, Ainsley, a demon on this. Yoru just being a thorn in the side of Rain so far this entire series. Mike can find Bunda, and 10 go to 6. Former teammate BM from Mike. Matt, this is astonishing. Jim Fan Club, potentially to get it done in 2. and 2-0 sweep maybe against Rain this evening. Of course, still rounds to be played, and Rain, they need to be finding them right now. Of course, Ecos to come out, pistols, a few ultimates online. Pudna could look to pop that showstopper, and they could look to steal some guns away. But I imagine Jim Fan Club are going to be playing as safe as possible, knowing that ultimate's online.
Absolutely not looking to play too much risk here. Looks like Ultimate's already being on the line though. Showstopper as well as the tour de force finding fruit there. Exus takes down Andy. Gonna see if they can hunt down a few more heads as well. B control pretty much all but established for Jim Fan Club here. Great that they've been able to cut off Exus temporarily with their utility. Mirza looking to lock in the plant now. And here comes the party. The Sicko has the showstopper as well. Looks like it is going to be the Fate Ultimate online as well. Everybody committing everything here. There goes the Viper's Pit. Let's see who can come out on top as Exus locks in one more.
Oh, that's a great haunt. My shoe has the info now. There's one back hall. Sicko might be the one to hurt, but he's able to pull the gun down, able to find the shot wall bang. Oh, Sicko, my lord, sir. It was just an eco, but man, Sicko made that look cool. Absolutely explosive round there from Sicko. 3 on the trot off the haunt. Perfectly lined up by my shoe. And Sicko's on demon time at 19-7, 11-6. Jim Fan Club looking to steal away Pearl and make this a quick series.
Absolutely trying their best to try and make this a 2-0 in their favor. They've already got the 1 map advantage. They win this and it will be theirs for the taking. 2 rounds is what's going to decide it here. Rain definitely need to try and tap into something hidden. But it looks like we do have Andy looking into the dimensional drift there. Trying to use it to their advantage. Their enemies trying to scurry around and stop them. Minimize goes down though. A site control has been gained here for Jim Fan Club. Everybody's lurking around in A-Link, waiting for their opportunity, waiting for the perfect moment here, Tony. This is going to be a bloodbath.
And teleport to secret. Netic holding the off angle. Exus to walk it with the op in play, but Mike rendezvous teleport. Exus flicks his fingers. Looks to teleport out. What now to Flowers? Andy looking to wrap around this secret spot. Mike takes out Exus, and now it's up to What in the 1v3. 2 players to peek in potential for a collateral, but Mirza, he puts his chips in the right play. 12-6, match and series point. Jim Fan Club. And this is unfortunate to see if you're a Rain fan right now. It's not really one player really to be blamed here, Matt. It's just Jim Fan Club putting up the numbers as 5. Mike, some explosive rounds. Andy, some great rounds, especially in that last match. Sicko, this entire map is his domain. Pearl and Sicko on the doors just go hand in hand. Rain forced out,
let's play.
And could be potentially their last hope here. Sees Haunt Paint Shells. Punda almost falls there. Great combination of the util from Netic and Sicko.
We'll see if it is going to be enough to propel them forward here. Jim Fan Club have got the tour de force available. Are going to be pushing up B at the moment. Minimize going to be towards the B hole at the moment. Just holding that back site. 1 in tower as well. You see this preparing, but unfortunately the preparations for Rain aren't enough to go down already. Leaving the defenders to try their very best to scurry their way through here. Bunda, great angle. Does catch Andy off guard. Nice start to redemption. There's still much more to be done. Speaking of, Mike actually getting shut down there. Bunda, well played. Unfortunately, doesn't take down Sicko, though. Sicko goes Sicko mode and takes it away for their team. Jim Fan Club, 2-0.
And let the party be started. Sicko, hat-trick of frags to close at 22-7, Matt. What an absolute colossal performance from Sicko. I have to say, Pearl and him on the trot. Not even first bloods, Matt. It wasn't even Sicko leading the charge in terms of the first kills. It was him taking space with the util there, backed up by Netic with some great placement. And then it was just walking into the site, taking individual gunfights, and Sicko just won them every single time. You can see a performance as well out of Exus, I have to say. Had some moments of brilliance. Punda 2 had some moments of shine, but it's in the dark for Rain. It's 2-0 for Jim Fan Club in that game, Matt, and that's not a sentence I think it would be saying going into the way we looked at this videos, and especially I'm completely shocked the way this game has gone. Jim Fan Club have superseded expectations this evening.
Yeah, really on demon mode this evening, haven't they, Tony? Like last week, it was a little shaky, but this week, it's a whole new Jim Fan Club coming through there, completely redeemed themselves, and that will take them 1 win, 1 loss on their record so far towards their conclusion of week 2.
And that puts Rain at 0-2, Matt, in terms of the group statistics. And that's not where you want to be right now. Rain, they want an ideal seed going into the playoffs. Of course, this is all about seeding for the moment. And, Jim Fan Club could look to shake who places where at the end of this group stage and who goes into the semifinals facing who. Of course, Matt, first map, first series done and dusted. Icebox 13-4. This one 13-6. A little bit closer from Rain, but still dominant performance out of Jim Fan Club. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I have to say, I was very much impressed by Nedic, I have to say. We've seen Sicko, we've seen Andy pop off time and time again, but Nedic really impressed me with the way that he was placing some of that fade util in that second map especially.
Yeah, it goes to show, that even if they aren't like the biggest fragger, they're still able to shine in those moments of need there. And I feel like Nedic had quite a few of those, especially coming into that first map there. You saw some of those clutch moments, being able to lock in the kills or the utility for their team to secure those rounds. Nedic was there, able to deliver.
Nedic absolutely able to deliver at every angle. Sicko as well, able to deliver. Jim Fan Club 2-0 over Rain this evening, Matt. But of course, we've got another series coming up in a little bit while. That one went very quickly, not the way we expected. Of course, at 8:30, we'll be seeing Trident taking on Honey Badgers. Guys, you don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to touch that browser. Make yourself some dinner, and we'll be back in a moment's notice with our second series of the Open Series for you this evening. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you didn't miss us all too much as we're now live back into the Open Series 2 here, brought to you by XP in partnership with Computer Alliance and Intel. Matt, we saw a very quick first series. Of course, 2-0 Jim Fan Club took down the likes of Rain. And, Rain were running some interesting things, and hopefully we get to see them bounce back after a rough one. But now we go into our second series. It's going to be Trident taking on the Honey Badgers. And this one, it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, we saw both teams really come out of the woodwork swinging. Trident with their reverse sweep last week. Honey Badgers, a commanding fashion, taking 2-0 over the likes of Jim Fan Club, who we saw show up really strong this week.
Yeah, they definitely did have quite the strong showing coming out of that last series, taking it away 2-0 in their favor. Jim Fan Club now 1-1 in terms of the standings. And we'll see if it could end up being something similar heading into this next series as well. Obviously, Honey Badgers took away their first win last week. And Trident did a bit of the same. So one of these two rosters will be coming out ahead of the pack here and will be a clean sweep of 2 wins, 0 losses. Whereas the other will be tied up with the Jim Fan Club in 1-1.
And, well, speaking of the rosters, Matt, let's have a look at who these teams are. Trident, of course, coming up in front of your very eyes. A new blood to the lifeline here of Oceanic Competitive Valorant. Wally, Udom, and Conquers their subs. And, of course, the main roster, Mazu, Hong, Prophet, Calamari, Blessed, or Cursed. Of course, his alias is Blessed, but he goes by Cursed on Twitter. Howie as well. We saw Trident really come out of the gate swinging, especially Mazu Hong, I have to say. We hyped him up last week, Matt, to be an absolutely insane duelist player when he's bringing this jet out and finding the entry picks that Trident need. Of course, you've got very respectable players on this roster as well. Calamari, Prophet, they've been around the competitive scene for quite a while. I believe Prophet used to play with a few mixed teams back in the day. Kanga was one of those over Power Strike all the way back in the competitive inception of Valorant. And Calamari, we've seen him around, of course, with respectable rosters like ShadowNet, Hero, and Calamari, always one of those sharp players to look for, especially a few of his cheeky little dumps on Twitter that he likes to do from time to time. Tried it, an overall great roster, and it's always good to see new rosters come up through these open qualifiers and some of these invitational events that we get to see.
It really is really nice to be able to see the stories of these newer rosters, how they form, how they start to take shape over time. And I feel like after last week's engagements, Trident are already off to a good start here. We'll see if they can maintain some consistency, though, heading into week 2, as they are going to be faced up against Honey Badgers, both rosters taking away 1 win each last week. And this is going to be the real proving ground to see which roster will be able to come away with a clean sweep. Speaking of Honey Badgers, though, we got the roster right here, right now. Jelly D, Milky, Suave, Cloxy, and Autumn, with Swirl, Christian Dior, and Fulbus as the subs there.
Yeah, I believe we actually had the pleasure of having Christian Dior grace us last week, but Jelly D, Milky, Suave, Cloxy, Autumn, the full 5 here for the Honey Badgers this evening. I believe Strangers will be Milky, Suave will be Party Next Door. A few different names. A few of the players may have changed their names since, of course, but it's always good to see a team like Honey Badgers who, Matt, this is one of these teams that's been around since the competitive inception as well. Honey Badgers, they came up through the VOC. They kind of made their run in through that Oceanic Championship last year. We saw a bit of faltering results here this year, and maybe that's what's called for this change. They've gotten Autumn in terms of Fulvus. Fulvus now taking a step back, maybe a little bit busy, now to a sub role. And Autumn, he's shown some impressive stuff. I have to say, swapping up his roles especially. Normally, we got to see him on the Duelist, but of course, there's a few too many Duelist players here for Honey Badgers. Jelly D, I know, likes to play that Duelist from time to time. Cloxy, we've seen some explosive jet play out of him. So Autumn, more than happy to be relegated to that kind of chamber role and take a more passive approach to the game.
It's definitely impressive to see how they are able to settle so comfortably into their roles there. As you can see, once again, Trident versus Honey Badgers. All of the available members popping up one after the other on our wonderful screens here. I'm definitely excited to see which team out of the two will be able to come out on top here. But, Tony, speaking of the teams, I think we've got some map vetoes.
Yeah, we'll have to have a quick look here as we see our lovely vetoes come up in front of you. You can see Bind being taken out by Trident, Fracture to be banned by Honey Badgers, so maybe bit of scrim knowledge coming through. Trident picking up Breeze. We saw them last week against Rain really start to come alive on that map. So expected to be a first pick now here for Trident. Honey Badgers then to go to Icebox. So Rain getting to start the defending side. Haven and Pearl being taken out of the mix. So we'll go to Ascent, our final pick. And Matt, I can't really sway the vetoes one way here or there. Of course, both teams great on Ascent. Trident I haven't quite seen on Icebox just yet. And Breeze, we've seen what Trident are capable of on that map. Honey Badgers, I haven't seen their Icebox in quite a while. I believe we saw it last week, and it wasn't too bad. Actually, no, sorry, that was Haven. We didn't get to see Icebox, but I believe Icebox was in the pool. Honey Badgers, an interesting pick to go for Icebox second. I feel like they maybe could have taken a Haven or Ascent a little bit early on, and then left it to Trident to have to ban the Pearl, but well, Honey Badgers, they ban out Pearl. Trident, they don't want to play Haven against Honey Badgers. So, Breeze, Icebox, Ascent, Matt. I feel Trident didn't get off too bad in terms of the vetoes here. Honey Badgers, definitely a little bit more of a relaxed approach.
And I can respect that, Maybe the relaxed approach might actually work out for them. They're trying to play this matchup with a bit more comfort heading forward, not trying to go into those uncomfortable situations. Can definitely respect the map picks coming through here. And we'll see exactly who will be able to come out on top on both of the initial map picks. Speaking of, we are going to be getting straight into Agent Select very shortly, I believe. As I believe the players are starting to get locked in and loaded.
Yeah, and well, this is going to be a bit of an interesting thing as you avert your eyes over to the Honey Badger side. We do have Swell in for, I believe, Jelly D this evening. So we'll have Strangers, Party Next Door, Suave, and of course Milky is Strangers, Autumn, Cloxy here. Trident, going to be on the attacking side to start it off. You can see a few lock-ins, Mazahong straight to the Jet, Bless straight to the KO. But this time, Calamari going to be bringing out Sova, Howie onto the Viper, and a little bit of an interesting thing to note was we saw a lot of A splits out of Trident last time we saw them on Breeze, and it's going to be interesting to see how a team like Honey Badgers combat that, because Rain couldn't really find a weak point there to break that one. It went all the way into overtime. Trident were able to take it 14-12, I believe. And here we are, best of 3, Honey Badgers versus Trident. Breeze, your first map, and for the side of Honey Badgers, an interesting series of lock-ins for them. It's going to be Autumn on the Cypher, Swell going to be on the Sova. I haven't seen Swell on the Sova in quite a while. Normally we've seen explosive duels out of him, but of course Honey Badgers, they've got so many duels on their roster.
Let's see exactly how it works out as we get straight in to map number 1 here. Both teams are going to be amped up, ready for action. Trident going to be on the attacking side here, and Honey Badgers on the defense here. Both teams already making preparations as to exactly how they want to approach this first round, and it's going to be critical that either of them takes it, as it will dictate the pace heading forward.
We can see Autumn, there are some cheeky little wire setups at the front of A.
Goes here.
Maybe to catch Trident off guard, because they definitely probably weren't expecting a Cypher pick. We haven't seen Cypher really been picked too much in the meta recently, but saw it from Rain last series. Now seeing it a bit from Honey Badgers, you can see Mazahong, a very nice little angle being held for some aggressive play through the elbow. You can see that Honey Badgers are taking a very aggressive approach,
Spike
and
down,
Swell to
attackers
take out
spawn.
Howie. That's spiked down. Swell finally blessed as well. Trident losing 2 members early on, and just Honey Badgers playing with the aggression.
See if the aggression works out for them here.
Player standing.
Last up player standing. XYZ does find one with the headhunter, making it 2. Buddy next door coming to the party right here. Strangers and Autumn pincer on in though, and do secure round number 1 for Honey Badgers.
Yeah, Honey Badgers able to pick that one up, getting aggressive on the defense. What we saw out of Gym Fan Club in that last series, and on Party Next Door, Suave to pick up 2 Marshals out for 3 potentially. No, make it 2. Spectre for Swell. No force buy for Trident. They're playing this one as calm and as safe as possible. You can see again earlier question though potentially towards B main, and for the side of Trident playing it cautious and safe. I would have expected maybe a more aggressive angles being taken, but Cloxy headshot to found, chambered down. Trident losing one early.
The early kill definitely will cost them. We'll see if they can manage to adapt around it though. Looks like they're just going to be holding outside the A site for the moment. Trying to see if they can get some positioning there. Certainly being patient with it though. Honey Badgers have no idea where they're coming from, but they've got the numbers to try and scope out the individual positions should they approach any closer. You can see Trident just on their toes at the moment. Ready to push forward as soon as possible. Beacon Dart comes through, shut down immediately. Cloxy now knows where they're coming from. Swirl already taking down Mazalong there. It's a good start. It could be backed up even further. Autumn looking to get a slice as well. Gun in hand, ready to make some bodies hit the sand.
And door opens. Howie trying to get out through this hallway, but nothing to do. Flawless go Honey Badgers, not losing a single member. Autumn, Suave, able to hold that one on lock. 2-0 start here for the Honey Badgers. And Trident, of course, not really much else to fault. You can see now to a buy here, and it's Gonna be an interesting one. Now, how do they attempt? Because the split hasn't paid off too well, with Honey Badgers showing such aggressive nature towards mid, not looking to give up any space of the map.
See if they do play off that control as well. Continue to not give an inch here, not give a quarter. It looks like already. Attacker's going to be trying to contest them in middle. Blessed almost manages to catch one. The damage being working for both sides, it would seem, but it comes out on top for Honey Badgers. It will be the 3v2 situation here. XYZ and Mazuhong just going to be pushing up, checking their corners. Autumn right around the corner on the middle doors there, waiting patiently at the A site. Might be looking to peek into them very soon, though. Could easily catch the spike carrier. Speaking of, no, they will not. 2 kills consecutively into the 2v1. Strangers forced to try and clutch it out.
I'll tell you what, Trident have a great position to take this side, even with one low member. Immediate trade from Mazdahong could be good. Strangers, Milky. Now looking to wrap around towards the shop. It is a trip outside, gratefully set up by XYZ here. You can see Rendezvous 2. He's just going to tuck himself in the corner, pinged the position. And Milky has to check it. We'll clear it out. Now it's up to the 1v1. Mazdahong versus Milky. Mazdahong just playing this one as safe as possible. Knows that he doesn't have to over-aggress. Milky has to peek to him. The dink off. Milky now looking to tap the spike. Looks to go halfway. Forces a swing from Mazdahong. And too aggressive, Matt. 3-0 clutch for Milky. Trident lose another round. And that's a costly one. That was their rifle. Honey Badgers clutching it up in the bonus. Milky going huge. We saw him last week go massive, and he continues to show threat. 3-0 start, and Trident relegated to the eco.
Relegated to the eco. Looks like they are maybe going to be picking up a Bulldog, though. Mazuhong does have that one behind them alongside some Sheriffs on their teammates. It looks like on the Honey Badger side of things, just going to be maintaining the rifles alongside the operator there. Just holding steady, trying to see if they can deal with present threat ahead of them. Looks like Mazuhong has actually opted against the Bulldog now. Just going to be saving their cash up for future rounds. Perhaps they could buy up an operator for their team in the future. Who knows? But it is just going to be a bit of armor brought up for them. The pistols, they're ready to try and make something happen here. Looks like there is actually a bit of a pause to come through as well there.
Always seems to be some sort of tech issue. I believe it's a ping issue for the moment, so hopefully we'll get it sorted as quick as possible. Maybe the players just, you know, need to fix up the net really quick. We're going to start, though, for the side of Honey Badgers, Matt. This is the way we want to see them start, especially after last week. You know, they came out with a quick 2-0, and, you know, some would have thought that was probably an easier matchup for them in terms of Gym Fan Club, but we saw Gym Fan Club not quite be such an easy matchup. And for, I guess, the Honey Badgers, it's credit to the way they handled them last week. Now, looking to maybe do the same against Trident, who luckily were able to get that reverse sweep, Matt. They went all 3 maps, and Trident really had to work for it. And this one, they're going to have to work for it early on. Honey Badgers, I imagine, not going to let any gap slip. You can see Coxie already bringing out the op as well. Suave going to be bringing out the secondary double op early on here. Very risky investment, but Honey Badgers, the way they've been playing, you can't really fault it.
No, you can't fault it at all, because it's winning them rounds for the time being, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Tony. They're definitely showing that they have what it takes here on the defender side of Breeze. We'll see if they are going to be able to maintain that, though, on their own offense, heading towards the second half of the game, because this is only the beginning for them, and anything could change heading forward. Looks like we're still just going to be sitting on this pause for the time being, though, whilst the players do make preparations of their own. It's good that they have this time to reflect on what's happened so far, I guess. Like, Trident definitely can use this time wisely to think about exactly how they want to approach the rest of this game, whether maybe there's some kind of secret strategy that could come out on this eco round here for them, Or maybe they look to bring something out in around number 5 instead. There's boundless possibilities available here. We'll see if maybe Honey Badgers have something similar up their sleeve as well, considering they get the exact same time as Trident do here. So I'm sure that there's lots of constructive conversations happening amongst themselves between the teams right now.
Yeah, and this is where I guess having a very calm IGL, especially if you tried it right now, they don't want to get too ahead of things. Especially, it's only 3 rounds, Matt. Very easily could be closed by Trident. Just some aggressive split play, some aggressive split site takes, and that gap could be closed very quickly. Of course, we've seen it capable. Mazuhong, very, very sharp individual player, and Howie. I'm interested to see how the wall starts to be implemented. Whether we see, of course, some toxic orb lineups. We're seeing very prominent post-plant lineups from a few of these Vipers in our region, and I imagine Howie's got it all on lock, but a rough start for Blessed and Howie. Maybe just need those first few kills to find themselves some confidence. But now we get live into it. Round number 4, Matt tried it on an eco, and I imagine side of Honey Badgers, they're going to have to be a little bit cautious. There's a deep door push from 2 players already. The wall is up. Milky has wrapped around the site. He's got 3 shots on, but he's only able to find the one. Calamari with a quick trade, and Trident now have the site, and the knives are out for Mazuhong. This is a beautiful setup. Trident found their way in.
We'll see if they can keep their way in here. Swirl gets spotted, holding on the stairs there. Blessed is able to get a kill on 2. Fulvus there. Gonna see if they can find anyone else here. Swirl does get a swing through. Cloxy securing that one onto Mazuhong. Nice flash to come through. Cloxy trades it out. Howie and Calamari able to do some great work. Autumn, though, last player standing here. Calamari using the dart, not able to find much off it. They just need to play for time here. Calamari realizes this. Do get shut down in the end, but that's still going to be around for them regardless. And only having the pistols, that's a fantastic outcome coming through for Trident there. They've got to be very pleased with themselves off that one.
Weapon here.
And it kind of all came down to that massive trade from Calamari. His teammate fell and then immediately answered. The split second between those 2 kills made the difference. They were able to pick up that gun. Mazuhong had the knives out and just exerting so much pressure towards that bridge player that Honey Badgers kind of just had to give it up. They kind of just had to let them take the site, and then Calamari playing that 1v1 perfectly with the timing.
That's a good spot.
Great stuff from Trident all around, and now you can see into this round they've got a buy, and they've got a bit more hope to close that gap. Honey Badgers getting aggressive, but forced off the angle this time.
Like Autumn going to be forcing players off angles this time as well. Howie goes down already. 1-man advantage secured for the Honey Badgers. We'll see if they are going to be able to find even more right now. Autumn just holding patiently here. Trident don't have an angle quite yet, but they can just as easily brute force their way into one. We'll see if it does work out for them here. Autumn and co. Just holding their ground for the time being. Waiting to see if there's anything that could be available to them here. XYZ as well. But him waiting. Ooh, nicely done there by Fulvus. Does manage to get the kill onto Mazuhong there. Another advantage gained for the Honey Badgers. Trident now forced to tighten up their formation.
Yeah, they're going to have to really round out these last few peaks. You can see Op out saved by Autumn, and shot comes through. Swirl able to find the wallbang on a Calamari. Autumn finds another, and Blessed, it's now a 1v4. Out come the knives from Cloxy. Yikes. Screams Jet. 4-0. 4-1. Honey Badgers. Valiant effort from Trident, but now relegated to the eco once again, Matt. That was a costly mistake on that take from Trident, and Honey Badgers not one to take mistakes lightly.
Absolutely not. And they will be looking to learn from it and do more heading into these future rounds, as it will be 4-1 in Honey Badger's favor. 3 ultimates on their side, a couple for Trident. And Trident are going to be mostly ecoed out as well heading into this one. Looks like they are trying to go for a kill, though. Do find a trade. Well played by Mazurong there, playing off the death of their teammate Blessed. 4v4 here. They're trying to see if they can retrieve the weapon, perhaps. It's going to be difficult, though. There's still enemies laying in wait, and more could be right behind them as strangers slowly creeps their way up. Speaking of, Howie's gone.
Howie taken out. That's all the exec util burnt out here. It's now just up to Calamari in the 1v4, or you can call him Makeup. A lot of these players like to change their names. Matt Suave, party next door to find Makeup. And a 5-1 here for the side of Honey Badgers. It is great. Start this one out for Trident. Beautiful shot, I have to say, as well from Suave. 5-1, Matt. Trident back to a bye, and they're going to have to come in full swing. It's not the same effect that we saw from them in the previous. Mazahong isn't
On my mark.
finding these aggressive early picks. It's Calamari really stuck to his own devices, and a few of his teammates. We need to see a little bit more out of them right now, because this is not the Trident we saw from last week.
See if they can find their form once again, heading into the second half here. Certainly strugglesome so far. XYZ already taken down there. Nice shock dart to come through, taking a little chunk out of Mazuhong. Blessed able to at least respond, though. Good trade to come through. Still need to find more out of it, however. Autumn and Co. Still just going to be holding, but here comes the Null Command as well as the Hunter's Fury here. They're looking at making impact here. Trident get their way onto the site through Brute Force. Well, going to be able to respond back with the Hunter's Fury of their own. Not hitting too much out of it. Maybe getting a little bit of damage there. Autumn going to be critical here. Looking for more. Does catch one. Trying to play around the wall. Howie finds their teammate. Autumn still alive. Gets the other. 8 HP in a dream here. They're definitely doing a lot of work for their team in holding this site. And it is all going to come down to Calamari. Tucked away in the corner. And they will perish in the end. 6 rounds for Honey Badgers.
Yeah, I believe that was the disconnect. Calamari not normally one to stare at a wall like that. And technical issues, we will see another pause. Matt, that's unfortunate because, you know, it's some of these rounds where some of these players disconnect mid-round, but because it's hard to roll back once damage has been done, so we're going to see a tech pause while we quickly get Calamari back in. But Honey Badgers, I have to say, Autumn, a massive hold there. He was down to 8 HP, Matt. Just posted up with the operator. He was able to find Howie. A massive occurrence there. And, well, Honey Badger's just holding so convincingly. It's rough for Trident, I have to say. It's rough for anyone that's watching. Trident, you know, you got a few players that you love to root for. Mazahong, the demon from Ranked, if we have to say, coming up through the scene, and always pray for a storyline like that if you're a fan of Trident. But of course, for the side of Honey Badgers, they've been around the block time and time again, Matt. And I have to say, Cloxy, Autumn showing up big in this first map. To be expected.
Absolutely, doing great work for their team. And this is only the beginning. 6 rounds in the first half already, doing wonders there. And they could be seeking out a few more. Heading towards closing time on this first half as well. Time goes down now, though. We're back into the action here. Round number 8. And it looks like already Triton starting off with a bang there. Mazurong taking out Cloxy. That's a key impact player. And they're already finding a bit of fruit here on A.
It's about keeping the fruit, keep munching away at that banana. XYZ to find Autumn. They still deal with Swell. Tucked in the back of box. Strangers. Milky gets caught out towards mid. Suave to find XYZ. They are able to trade these kills back. Trident. Look at the send Howie over on the lurk up through the hallway, but Suave's heard the footsteps. This is a great call. Read by Suave. He is looking towards the door. Howie's looking to tuck back down towards A if he can. The rotation's coming through. Bless is looking to help Howie out. Rotate over to B. It's up to Suave. 5 HP. 1 shot for me to fatal blow of a player. Swell to pick apart Mazahong. The jump up, but Suave finds it. And that's up to Blessed. 100 HP, no shields. Suave
30 seconds left.
just going to rendezvous to safety. Crosses his way over.
Last player
Rendezvous 1 tapped out, traded. Swirl finds it. And Honey Badgers do no wrong. Suave and Swirl getting it done in the 2v3.
Well played there for Honey Badgers. We'll be able to take round number 7 in their favor now. Trident still facing their fair share of struggles, but at least they are managing to secure a kill or two in these rounds. We'll see if they can manage to secure all the kills, though, and take another round for themselves. As we head into round number 9 now, they've got the Blade Storm available, as well as the Viper's Pit, with the Tour de Force closely on the way. The only ultimate is going to be Autumn's on the side of Honey Badgers there. We'll see if the Neural Theft will be enough for them to get some vision and counteract.
Yeah, it seems that Trident, it's no split play, it's just a straight up exec swirl. And Milky gonna have to show up a big here. The Snake Bite comes out, shock lands point blank on to Milky. Mazahong
Right here.
and Calamari to take Swirl out. He's calling for the flash. Calamari's ready to swing this at a moment's notice. The drop of the hat, the drop of the wall, and drop the kills. Get Suave for 2. Mazahong and Blessed to trade it back, but still Honey Badgers in a retakeable scenario in the 2v2. It's Autumn finding XYZ. Cloxy just playing peekaboo around this yellow box, just buying all the time for Autumn to come through, but Mazahong finds Cloxy amongst his own Cloudburst and Autumn. It's now the 1v2. Blessed and Mazahong not looking that direction for the moment. They do check it. Blessed is looking that direction for the moment. Turns attention and shows a little bit too much skin. Mazahong goes out for the wide swing. It's 30 HP for the full kit almost to Blessed. Autumn needs to take this fight very cautiously. A little bit of a jiggle. And shots to come through. Great little swing back. Blessed to find and try it in the second, but it came extremely close and it came extremely costly for Trident. They're going to be in a bit of a rough scenario for the next few rounds. Look at that economy.
It's a bit of a tough one, Tony, isn't it? But at least they do manage to find some reprieve from the suffering there, as they have managed to take one more round in their favor. 3 ultimates available to them now as well. They've got a few tools at their disposal. Weapons, not so much in their favor, though. Only 3 of them got the Vandals this time. XYZ and Mazahong just going to be stuck out on other things. Cloxy already starting off strong there. Takes out Calamari, looking for another. It is Fulvus to find it. Double kill, it would seem. Strangers taken down, not before being traded out by Swirl. It's all up to XYZ now. 1 versus 4. They catch 1. Looking for a few more. Taking a bit of damage. It won't be enough. Fulvus gets it in the end. And Honey Badgers take number 8.
This is a commanding game to be starting to fire off here from the side of Honey Badgers, of course. For a team like Trident, especially on their pick, this is not the way you want to be seeing it going, especially going into Icebox, their second map, Honey Badger's pick, and with confidence flowing from this one, you start to wonder for Trident, what can they do? You're going to have to see a swap up, of course. Trident opted to bring the KO to this one, whereas Honey Badgers, they opted to play a little bit more passive and safer with their composition. The single duelist and a lot of util around it, and they knew they were starting the defense side so they could go for it. Cloxy
Spike down A.
goes for the shot back, and the spike is down at A here. Trident, not really much they can do but mount and try and conquer a different side of the map, and that's where they're looking right now. Autumn covered off by the Toxic Orb. You can see how he's just biting for time right now.
Cloxy, great kill to come back there. Stranger's going to be able to back it up as well. Taking the man advantage for Honey Badgers here. Missed shot from Cloxy, though. Allows a bit more presence on the site for Trident here. Calamari and Mazahong try to see if they can catch a kill. Just under 47 seconds to go here. Cloxy finds one more. Calamari forced to clutch it up. Do find Cloxy in the end. Trying to tap it out. Autumn's gone. Calamari, can they do this? 1 player remains in Strangers. They've got the opportunity now to potentially go for a plant, but you can't be too careful. They're still considering the angles here. And this gives Strangers ample time to get right behind them. Calamari thinking it through.
Great
Actually
call.
going for the full rotation.
Absolutely great call there from Calamari. I don't think he heard the footsteps. A lot of sound
10
cue was
seconds
given away
left.
by Milky in that cave, but now 10 seconds left to get that spike down, and Calamari is going to go for the
Spike
open
planted.
plant. You can take the fight against Strangers as soon as one player peeks the other to take the shot, and it is Calamari to clutch it up for 3, Matt.
Last round
3 on the
before
board.
switch.
Go try it last round before the switch, and that might be some very impressive reads, I have to say. Calamari, one to use his noggin, former IGL. I don't know if he's leading this Trident roster. I imagine he would be. And the IGL showing huge here. 8 still, though, for the Honey Badgers in this first half. Matt, they've run away with it. All Trident could ask for is this final.
Let's see if they can manage to do it right here. Last round of the first half. Definitely a great opportunity. 8-4 half wouldn't be the worst. But speaking of, they already take one good step in the right direction. Fulvis goes down there. They're looking for a bit more. Null Command activated as well for them. Here comes everything else. The Viper's Pit, Hunter's Fury, you name it, they are turning it on. They find Milky, they find the double kill. Calamari and co, flawless victory. And Trident take away their 4th.
Switching sides.
Oh, I get around that one, Matt. The double up on the Hunter's Fury. Nowhere to run. Honey Badgers dropped that final one of the half, but still 8-4, Matt. Trident. It was a resurgent form for the last 2, but they need to keep that form up going into the second half. Now to the defense. Honey Badgers now to the attack, and it gets a little bit more scary if you're Trident. Coxie, this is the half we normally see him come alive, find some aggressive early picks, and really tear open a site for his team. Outside of Trident, we do have the possibility of flashing him off before he can peek. Blessed, of course.
Here.
Makeo. You can see potential for both chambers here going into the second half too. XYZ, opting to play it a little bit more passively, is going to be backing up Mazahong towards his elbow peak.
Like it is going to be a lot more than just a peek there, as Autumn says, peekaboo, I see you. Swirl going to be able to back it up as well. One player remains now. It's all up to Calamari here. 1 versus 4, lots of damage already taken, and Swirl cleans it up. 9 rounds for Honey Badgers as they take pistol.
Yeah, pistol again for Honey Badgers. 2-0 for the pistol rounds in this series so far. And this is rough. Tried it 9-4. 2 more rounds Honey Badgers find, and this could potentially be lights out already in this first map, Matt. You can see Trident not going to force into this one. They're just going to be investing a lot more numbers over towards this A site. 4 over at A, leaving Howie to devices at B. Honey Badgers have forced out the Vandal here. Autumn wasting no time getting that gun online.
See if the gun does pay some dividends for them here as they push their way up towards the B site now. Howie prepared with the snake bite. Recon dart to come through. Looks like they will use the shorty. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get too much out of it. A little bit of damage, but alas, no kills. It does work out in favor of Honey Badgers here. Plank goes down. Headhunter finds a little bit of value as well. And Mazahong goes down along with it. 2 versus 5 situation here. Looks like XYZ finds one back, and it is quickly traded by Autumn there. Calamari left to try and do it all once again here. Holding desperately towards their spawn. And they will go down with the ship. Double digits secured for Honey Badgers.
Yeah, the ship starting to sink a little bit for Trident. Call up the mermaids, call up the denizens of the deep. Trident, where have you gone? We saw it in the last few rounds of that first half, but it's still into the second. We look to the rifle here for Trident. This is their last hurrah, I feel. Honey Badgers, they take this, they go 11. They've got economic advantage, it goes 12, and it could be lights out before we know it.
This goes here.
10-4, Matt. Trident. A miracle round needing to be found, and they are playing as passive as possible. They've got 4 players, though, over towards the A site yet again.
4 players towards the A site. We'll see if it will work out for them here. So they are just going to be holding steady. Milky looking to push through the halls already. Mazuhong around the corner. Could be a deadly battle ahead of them. Mazuhong waiting in anticipation, catches the barrel, and barrels past. A great opener for Trident there. Pushing out the skin as well, it would seem. Trying to look for a bit more. Cloxy gets the spot there. Not going to be able to trade it back at the moment. Looks like Twirl's gone down too, so already Trident pulling through, pulling together, taking the advantages where they can find them.
Yeah, they'll take any little advantage they can for the moment. Cloxy in the fight against XYZ and comes out very healthy in that engagement, I have to say. 70 points of HP still. The rest of Trident looking to rotate, but Milky looks to walk up through Hall. That's all. I'm not expecting that one, but Bless expecting the door to be open. Cage goes down. Nice little one sap there. Back. Makeup takes Cloxy, but Autumn now down to the 1v2. Spike in hand, but no cages, no wires, no nothing. Just gonna have to walk it up in the site plainly. 14 seconds, go 12, go 10. Autumn needs to move right now. 2 players to deal with in just a moment. 5 seconds, go 4. He can stick this plant, Matt. And it is just shy of the time. I believe a split second between that and Spike going down and Autumn having to fight the 1v2. Bless takes out Autumn and Trident for the moment. They find themselves a sign of life. 5-10 goes the scoreline.
And let's see if that life can be cultivated further here. Heading into round number 16. Both teams on even footing here. They've all got rifles. And they are all ever eager to dive headfirst into this battle. So let's get it underway. Trident just going to be holding steady. Nice even split towards the A and B sites. A little bit of presence in the middle as well. Cloxy could be met with a surprise in just a moment. XYZ around the corner with Mazuhong. They peek into it. XYZ finds one. Rendezvous pulls them back though. Mazuhong good to try and pull something together here. Still just waiting it out though. They've got dash available if they need it, but only for so long. Honey Badgers forced to retreat and reconsider their approach.
And forced to fall back. Regather their forces. You can see Bless able to stop the swirl. Walking out that cave. I have to say, this A defense is starting to look good for Trident. Nobody can really get in right now. Autumn. I'm expecting a flank to come through. Milky doing a similar scenario, but this time he's going to be the one successful. Snake Spike comes out towards the back of Yellow Box. They know that there's 2 players here, XYZ and Howie. Blessed all over towards this A side, so they can rotate over. Autumn's got a free plant for the taking. Suave taking the gunfights against 3. Autumn cages himself off. Eventually rotate. You can see Milky in a precarious position underneath the window. If they find Milky, this could look to be an easy 2v1. Knife against the close wall, but that doesn't hit Milky. And Trident, they're going to have to be cautious. They're going to have to check every angle. They're going to clear it. Milky's down. Autumn wrapped the cave now. Spike is playing out in the open. The time is ticking quickly. Wall goes up for the cover. Autumn's going to have to peek through this, and here's the tap onto the Spike, and just goes back through Howie's wall. Out of toxins, and the shot goes to Autumn.
I always play.
And Matt, I didn't know we were on Icebox already. It's cold here, but Autumn is hot. 11-5. Honey Badgers find that round with a clutch.
And a great round to take indeed. It puts them 2 steps away from sending us straight through to the Icebox there on map number 2. And I'm sure that they are eager to play their way into it. But Trident still have a thing or two up their sleeve, and I don't think this one is going to go down just yet. We'll see what they will be able to deliver though, as their economy at the moment is quite strung together. XYZ though does find a nice little kill with the tour de force there. Great start for Trident. They're going to need a few more just like it if they want to deliver here.
Watching here. Careful there.
You can see Trident, they have mounted a sizable defense.
Spike dropped.
The Spike drops. This could be An explosive B tank starting to come to fruition. They no longer have the Viper wall mats. They can't cover where Howie's playing from. Only a classic in hand. Who can hold the site on his own. Foxy. Potential wall base towards the back of it. You can see shots starting to come through. Autumn's also looking for the same thing. Just looking for lineups. Looking for a quick kill. The dink comes out from the classic, but not deadly at that kind of range. The tour de force finding one on the swirl. Tried it now to walk their way back into the site, but they still have to deal with Autumn, Swab, and Cloxy. Sizable defense to be mounted here by the side of Honey Badgers. As tour de force shot comes out, it's a quick trade, and it's a disciplined spray. Suave, but it's Mazuhong back in the mix. 2 back in return. It's Cloxy versus Mazuhong. Dash is charged up. Mazuhong going to hold the angle, hold the swing, and hold the phone. Mazuhong takes it 3. Go now 6 rounds for Trident. And a clutch on the back foot. And after a spray like that from Suave, I was not expecting that. Great play from Mazuhong.
Definitely impressive play, to say the least. It will be a saving grace there for the side of Trident for the moment, as they do recover their own economy heading forward, and now they've got the full buy on them. Rifles are going to be aplenty here. Operator on XYZ, and Honey Badgers are going to be stuck in the eco zone, at least for now, but they can afford to be there for the time being. They've got ultimates building up. It looks like they're already going to be relying on one of them. Maybe trying to take a thing or two in this one. I can respect it.
Get the knives out. Gets Swirl on the shots towards the door. Fragment passed by Blessed. He's a little bit scared right now. The ample amount of pressure, and Cloxy just rips the Blade Storm after grabbing it. Half tags up Mazuhong. Traded back. No, by Trident. They still have to be cautious. A lot of players over towards middle here. Mazuhong has stuck through the hallway for the moment. Now drone. Shot out by the tour de force. I don't know about that one. Mazuhong to drop down because he heard the tour de force shot come out. Mazuhong. Alright. Turn and burn, my friend. Milky able to turn back and trade it. Shocked up. Close range on the Bless. Cade a bit. Forced to fall off. This is Trident mounting this defense slowly.
Enemy remaining.
They are just going to push on to the remaining Honey Badgers players. It's Milky with the Vandals picked up and a swing on through Calamari to clear the corner. 7 rounds now for Trident, and Matt, this is where Trident could look to make a stable comeback because they've got a stabilized economy. Honey Badgers a little bit out of whack now, as you can see. Another buy to come through for them, but this could be potentially their last one for a while if Trident are able to take this.
We'll see if they are going to be able to manage it here, as Trident start to build up a recovery. 2 rounds in a row so far. Will they be able to make it 3 for the hat trick? Find out right here, right now. As we dive into round number 19. XYZ going for the early shot there. Won't be able to get it. Gives Honey Badgers a bit of freedom to play towards middle now. They've got the hour drone to catch some information as well. They're ready for this one. Let's see if they can find anything off of it. Shots already coming through as a deterrent, but that's not going to deter the Warriors on Honey Badgers as they push in. XYZ, great start there.
A little flick of the wrist, Blessed. Oh, and one from him too, alright. I like the flicks here, but picks back in terms of Honey Badgers and XYZ, the overswing. They are going to get the res off. The Viper's Pit goes up towards B. They have cover of the site. Autumn just swinging towards lower because he heard the res go out. Milky was spotted in that Viper's Pit for just a second. Now Swirl. Got a deep push in the spawn and nobody's going to expect it. Cheeky little double from Swirl, almost finding the ace. It's up to Calamari in the 1v2. Tab back on Autumn. The warbank shot comes through. Milky versus Calamari. Now drawn out, but immediately gets rid of it. Has to walk in the Viper's Pit, and Milky just needs to play off a sight and out of the way. Viper's Pit goes down. Decade now will be back up to full HP. Calamari is forced to tap it. Milky misses the shots, but now he must play with the time. Milky is going to fall. Sharp shot from Calamari. Clutch, not this time. 12 to Honey Badgers. A valiant effort, though, from Trident.
Match point.
They came so close there. Definitely respect the patience coming through towards the end as well. Calamari forced in the 1v1 situation. And Honey Badgers do manage to pull through just by holding their ground and not peeking into anything unnecessarily there. Map point going their way. We'll see if they are going to be able to lock it in for one more round and send us straight towards map number 2. The pressure is certainly on now for Trident. 2 ultimates to their name, 2 to Honey Badgers. And we kick things off with a bang here as the Hunter's Fury already gets activated. Looking for a little bit of information off it there. Nothing really going to go their way off it. Mazuhong, though, pushing up aggressively. Maybe something comes of it? No, they dash back. Blessed is gone. And another does follow. Great trade from XYZ.
And all of a sudden, this game in the last few rounds has really amped up the pace. Honey Badgers and Trident just playing trade for trade. Mazuhong already wrapped a window. Howie down to low HP. A slither. Mazuhong comes slithering out from window. Takes 2. Trade back from Milky. You see Calamari. Favorable position, just sit here and hold the window.
Take flight.
Giving up A site a little bit. Have tried it. XYZ. Gonna drop some rendezvous. Profit. Sharp little transfer on to Milky. Because Milky extremely low. It's Autumn. The one with full HP. Calamari spots him. Autumn. Almost hits the flick. Profit almost lost the 1v1. But 12-8. Tried it. They find themselves another round. And again, another foothold into this game still, Matt. Honey Badgers yet to close. And, well, we're going to be stuck on an eco for this one. You see, just Trident's room to put the pressure back on and flip the script.
See if they can flip the script or flip the switch here. And do what they came here to do. Try and play all the way for overtime. They need 4 rounds in a row if they want to even have a chance at it, Tony. We'll see if it is going to be here. Trident activating the tour de force early on as well. Just trying to make sure they have that extra comfort heading into the round here. Looks like the attackers, though, are slithering their way straight through the cave. Try and push that A side. They got one in the halls as well. Mazuhong has spotted them. Trying to push around the corner now, see if they can get that girl locked in. It will be secured. Great start there for Trident. Still have the rest of the team to consider, just holding out in the cave as well as in the side of things in that rope position there as well.
Toxin screen down.
Toxins go down. Howie goes down to half with that one. Trying to bait Honey Badgers to walk in, but they're not going to walk through hall for the moment. Nobody is holding this position, but still Honey Badgers have to clear every angle because they don't know where any of these Trident players are. A few deeper mid, one towards default of A, and of course Curse just holding back a B. That is going to hit the back wall. The dash is charged up.
30
Cloxy
seconds left.
going to be looking to swing through now to bridge. And you can see
Careful.
taken immediately out by the tour de force from XYZ. And a few more shots are surely to come. Party next door. Suave just walks through the Viper wall. It takes out 2 players. Vandals picks up and it's down to the 2v3. But the spike is not in the hands of these players. They're looking for the kills right now. The pistols to pick it up. And Calamari, 7-6 seconds. And that spike's not retrievable. That plant is not going to happen. Calamari keeps Trident by the skin of their teeth into this game. And looking to go hunting. Take him out. Flush this gun off the margin. And they will not be able to find it. Calamari holds 9 rounds, go Trident, but Matt, they can't be afforded to lose those guns and giving them up to Honey Badgers.
Absolutely not. That's going to affect their economy in the long term. And Honey Badgers, they're looking to strike whenever they see an opportunity. They almost had it there. They were really just a string away from taking the game then and there. But Trident do manage to stay alive by the one element in Calamari.
Take flight.
We'll see if that element will play true again here. Mazuhong getting spotted towards the back of the A side already. Good information being gained here for the side of Honey Badgers. They're not playing off it quite yet, though. Still playing divide and conquer. Play for that information early on before using all your forces to dedicate to a push here. More information now gained as well. They know there's an operator on that B site. They can play elsewhere if they need to.
Yeah, you can see Swell on the Guardian, posted up, potentially for a player to swing from a default. But both players playing different angles this time, swapping up the positioning and keeping Honey Badgers on their toes. Dart to reveal lower mid. Gives Trident a lot of space to work with.
Let's see if that space is going to be capitalized upon, as Trident do take 1 kill there. Looking for a few more here as well. 33 seconds to go right now. Honey Badgers being slaughtered one after the other. There is an opening, however, onto this B site. They can easily capitalize upon this. They're clearing it out very hastily. It could be met by a cheeky player at the back of the site. Hunter's Fury gets activated there. Calamari gets shut down, though. Well played by Fulvus. Creeping around in the shadows. XYZ goes down as well. 3v3. Party next door in Fulvus. Going to be partying much longer. And Bless finds one as well. All going to be up to Cloxy here. 1v3. They've at least taken Bless down to 2 HP, but they've still got plenty more players to deal with. And speaking of, the dealing with will be done by Trident as they take him down and take double digits here. 2 rounds to go. This could be going to overtime.
The potential's there, Matt, that's for sure. And Trident, none other than expected, I feel, to draw it into overtime after so many rounds we've seen them come out such in full force. Guardian out for Swirl. The rest with Sheriffs here. And I have to say, of course, Honey Badgers not doing too bad with the stand-in. Swirl filling in for Jelly D. And, well, filling out the role perfectly on the Sova. Trident, no.
Play, let's play.
Burned a hole in the economy.
Get out
So
of
they
my
can look
way.
to do some quick work. Our drone. Tapped out. Updraft. Straight Milky. Going straight through the smoke. XYZ finds Autumn instead. That's not Milky. That's Viper's Pit. Up. Cloxy takes 2 on the Blade Storm. That's Hong just trying to rip, but there's another player in that smoke. In his face. Massive Hong falls, and this will be a way to close it out if Honey Badgers are able to do it. Party next door on the lurk towards mid. It's Calamari. 1v4. Walks into the Viper's Pit. That's the only thing to cover. Drops the cover. Milky goes thrifty. Honey Badgers closed 13-10. Matt tried it. They had the makings of a comeback. But Honey Badgers, they shut it down at the last hurdle on a eco round. They get it done. Perfect walk up through mid there. And I have to say, Milky setting that whole play in motion.
Yeah, definitely managing to light the ignition there in order to propel them towards a victory on map number 1. Trident definitely getting a lot closer towards the end of Breeze, though. You could tell that they were starting to really structure themselves and propel themselves forward towards almost getting to overtime there. It was getting very dangerous for Honey Badgers. So it's good for them that they managed to close it out when they did, kill that momentum before it becomes too much to handle. Heading towards map number 2, though, I would be worried about that momentum that Trident started to build, because if they can tap into that again, then they may be the ones on the victorious side of things.
Yeah, I have to say, impressive play, though, from Honey Badgers. As you can see, 6 first bloods for Cloxy. Autumn rocking in this Cypher on Breeze. Not every day you get to see a Cypher on Breeze, and normally it's kind of fallen out of the favorites aboard the Chamber, the Viper, and of course the KO. But well played, Autumn. He made it work. And Honey Badgers, they definitely made it work. They stole away Trident's pick. We now go to Icebox Honey Badgers' pick. In just a moment, we're going to go to a quick commercial break while we set up for our second map of this series. I'll tell you what, Matt, Honey Badgers brought the tropical weather to Breeze. They brought the heat, and we saw it. We now go to a bit of a colder affair. Icebox, our second map here. Trident versus Honey Badgers, and, you know, Trident almost got it done in that last map, I had to say. Got all the way down to the wire. 13-10 was the final score. Matt, this is still anybody's game to take here, and I have to say, Trident could look to get a lot of momentum going if they're able to take the pistol in the second one.
Yeah, that early pistol round definitely can give you a lot of support heading forward. I feel like if Trident are able to take some of that momentum they started to build towards the end of the first map there on Breeze into the next one on Icebox, it'll certainly support them heading forward because they have had their fair share of struggles before. If they can't manage to really engage, get switched on early on in Icebox, it could be a really strugglesome approach once again. It may be a much more drawn out affair like we saw on Breeze.
Yeah, it could be one of those drawn-out maps, especially when you saw some of the shots start to land. Mazahong pulling out the Blade Storm, starting to hit some impressive knife displays. Cloxy too. It kind of came down to who really had more of an impact in some of those rounds with the Blade Storm. As we now go into Icebox, I expect to see potential for more of the Jet play, of course, going into this one, but I'm also expecting to see a lot more of the Viper come into fruition. Howie had a bit of a quiet one that map, of course, and hopefully they're going to pick it up going into the later stage of this second map, and potentially the rest of the series.
We'll certainly have to wait and see how it all plays out. Obviously, Icebox is a whole different beast entirely. We did see a little bit of Icebox already today, though, in our first series. So I'm certainly eager to make a swift return, Tony. You know, I went to the snow myself recently in real life, so it's nice to see a bit of snow in-game. Unfortunate you can't throw snowballs at each other in this one, but I digress. Maybe a custom game mode in the future. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see some snowballs. Maybe a Christmas event coming here, right? If you're listening in, get us on, get us around it, and hopefully we can maybe design a cool little game mode. Of course, we saw this is a very interesting one. Icebox, as you said last series, we saw a lot of tendency towards the split play. We saw the Sages kind of had a lot of impact with some of the slow orbs, really forcing the attacking side to just go to the other side of the map, because that slow orb lasts for so long. Matt, now, so we go into vetoes here for our second map of this best of three. It's Honey Badger's pick. Tried it on to the defense side to start it off, and expected to see a Sage yet again. Calamari back to the Sova. Howie, Mazahong, nothing's really changed for the moment. Interested to see what Prophet locks in. Hovering the Neon, thought about Cloxy is going to lock the Sage. Autumn back to the chamber. Swirl to the Sova. I don't think there's not going to be any much change here too much, other than the Sages being implemented into the picks.
Yeah, it looks pretty stock standard so far, Tony. You can see that they're locking in the Sages there. They got Chamber, Viper going to be locked in, as well as a Jet and Sova on the Trident side. Honey Badgers still considering their options, though. Killjoy actually being hovered there by Suave. We'll see if that one gets locked in. We don't see that one every day, but I certainly wouldn't question it if they did bring it through there. Certainly does have the potential. You can play off a little bit of utility and control. Agent. We'll see which one will get locked in the end, though. Looks like they're still pondering on their options. Time's running out as well. They're going to have to snap back to reality as soon. Looks like time has run out, so we should see the lock-ins come through just like that. Viper and a Killjoy to close out the Honey Badgers roster. So, pretty similar, but different. You know, it's a bit same, but different on the rosters, Tony.
Yeah, it's that Spider-Man meme where it's, you've picked Chamber, we've also picked Chamber. Viper's there, Sages are there, but Killjoy, in terms of the picks here, very interesting that Honey Badgers are opting for the no duelist composition here. It's all util here. You can kind of substitute Autumn, I guess, for the duelist role, but for the moment, it's going to be an interesting one, I have to say, because with this composition, starting this attacking side, it's going to be a rough one to start out here for the side of Honey Badgers.
See just how rough it is going to get as we do head into the game here. We've got Honey Badgers on the attacker side this time are followed by a Trident on the defense here. Pretty stock standard buyers coming through. You know, a few ghosts across both teams, a little bit of armor. Just nice and calm approach. Heading into map at number 2 here. 5 seconds to go though. The attackers are looking to go straight towards the A site. And let's see if they can make it fire up.
And you can see Wall early on, blessed. A little bit scared of what is coming away in just a second. As well, putting some shots into the wall. Turret is put up above Swirl. Expecting a swing out here. You can see trying to play this aggressive angle. Everybody here from the Honey Badgers, but Trident, they've still left a few players over towards that B and mid position, just in case a quick rotate to come through, but it's just going to be a swing from Suave with the Sheriff. One shot from Blessed, a second, and a third from Calamari. Suave has walked out the screens, but not for very much longer, as the rest of Trident now actually decide to rotate over. And Calamari for 3 on the pistol. Big one to pick up for Trident. Honey Badgers looks a little bit scattered to that take. The wall in play by Blessed really stopped them in their tracks early on.
Good to see that they have managed to stop them in their tracks as well. Trident definitely going to be satisfied with an early round there. We'll see if they can play off that momentum a little further heading forward, as they already pick up the stock standard buys there. Spectres to come through. Marshall was contemplated but not committed upon, and it will be a frenzy to close that out. Looks like the side of Honey Badgers not really committing to much of anything here. Just holding on to whatever they start with in the classics. At least they've got the Headhunter there, I guess, on the chamber, but ultimately not too much dedication or commitment at all coming into round number 2 here. If they get a kill or two, a bit of damage, they'll be happy with it. If they all go falling down like dominoes, it'll be okay, because there's always round 3. 2 kills coming through already. Will be followed up by Autumn. Nice comeback coming through there. Mazahong looking to greet them with open arms, but Howie with the one to slam the door there, putting us now into the 1v4 situation for Swirl here. Pushing up, trying to get their way towards Nest, but they are going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Taking a bit of damage, trying to get at least 1 kill out of this. Ooh. They actually find it. Swirl, okay, 4 HP in a dream. Looking to do a bit more here. Swirl, can they do this? Trying desperately to keep the right angles. Ultimately will go down in the end.
Yeah, valiant effort from Swirl. What more can you do? 4 HP, classic, not even a pistol. Like around a Trident though, Matt, and that's what we wanted to see, especially going into the start of this second map. Trident finding pistol into the second, great conversion rate of pistol into the second round. So we haven't seen all too many teams force that second round after losing pistol, so a lot more passive approaches being shown this week as to opposed to, I believe last week we saw Gym Fan Club go for an aggressive second round buy, and it didn't pay off, but at least they tried, you know. Down to this one, rifles for Honey Badgers, but they're gonna lose Party next door early on. That's the power of the chamber. Teleport out, nothing really you can do.
Ultimately will result in an opening for Trident there. Definitely going to be happy with that one. Looks like Honey Badgers already getting a bit of information back though. They can look to engage onto the site now. XYZ trying to play around Blessed here. See if they can get something out of this one. Stop any more of these attackers from getting onto the site. All will be well for them if they can. Autumn, though, could find an opening. Ooh, here's the snake bite. Oh, that's a tricky position there. They might just catch someone, maybe not. Yes, they will. That's an opening towards the B site. They might just be able to run away completely, but Calamari looking to cover the back lines there. Might actually spot them. Ooh, there's the spot from Cloxy. They know, Tony. They know.
They know to take it cautious. Well, could look to be a little bit more cautious. Autumn, with his aggressive position, has taken a deep angle in kitchen. Cloxy to get that spike down with the wall to cover the plates, and you can see that Autumn still hasn't budged a muscle. He's waiting for the jump up. Finds another one of Azul Hong, and Autumn has picked apart this round himself. Cloxy find a few on the tail end of things, but that round, that was all Autumn. Walking up through kitchen, getting that lurk kill, getting that sight completely for the taking. Tried it and they fall apart in that one, and Honey Badgers, thankful to be having Autumn show up in full force this evening.
Yeah, really well placed shots there. You can see Autumn reaping the rewards, top of their board there, 4-2-0. Definitely a nice scoreline to start things off for their team. We'll see how they play out into round number 4 now, as both teams got the full buy before them. Plenty of weapons, plenty of utility available. Looks like Trident are opting for an aggressive approach, however. XYZ trying to see if they can catch anyone, and with that operator there, no one playing close enough to really be tested as yet,
Watching here.
as the majority of Honey Badgers push up towards the A site, leaving Autumn on that lurk again.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that they're opting to leave Autumn for this lurk, especially when you kind of need him to find some aggressive picks. He can take a rendezvous and then teleport out. Mansu Hong holding up on this raft, quickly traded by Milky. Autumn's still over this B site. He can hear all the footsteps coming through. Swirl and Milky still left alive. They still have control of the spike. Trip is down. Potential site take the B. Profit though, holding with this op in play to cover the cross. The spike is down, picked up by Swirl, who needs to fast tail towards the B site. Autumn, 2 rendezvous, 4 shots in the head, Hunter, and trying it quick to rotate. Spike will be playing a default position as always. It's the only safe spot they can really go for that plant. Now it's up to the 4v2 to ensue Trident onto the reed sink. 2 players coming from the backside of mid and the backside of B. As well as a great spot. Calamari is trying to take for Autumn. It's not going to check for Swirl. Tap on the spike once. The wall gives great cover for the moment. And Autumn forced to fire off some shots. Teleport out. Swirl missing a few of his own, but able to tap on the one, the stick onto the fully diffused spike. The Hunter's Fury popped a little bit late. Swirl able to find the kill in the end, but trying to pick up 3 Matt. And very unfortunate way that round it swayed. It was all to the credit of Howie throwing up that perfect wall for the cover.
Yeah, well played to Trident in the end there, committing towards the defusal, managing to re-fortify their defenses onto that spike defusal. Ultimately does result in a round for them in the end, but their economy, since losing all players, is going to be quite haggardly, to say the least. Looks like we are going to be pushing into the round head first, though. Blade Storm and the Tour de Force activated there. Howie finds one through the poison. Does get shut down eventually, though. Looks like they will be traded back twofold for Honey Badgers. Nicely done by XYZ, however. 3v3 situation so far.
3v3 yet again, it would seem. Holding on this rotate. Here's Autumn.
Welcome to my world.
Toxic Orb. Calamari tries to go through, but he's vulnerable up. Well timed by Milky, actually. Pop that orb.
I have the spike.
His teammate, a cheeky little kill, get themselves a spike and get them all the way over to the B site yet again. So many rotates towards this B site. I guess that's to credit Trident holding so well at A. Tour de Force out here for Autumn. Holding an aggressive angle underneath. Tube. Milky going to be holding the spawn. Both taking very aggressive angles. Mazahong has popped the blades. Has popped the dash too. Mazahong thinks it's A.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunately, not going to be A this time. Will indeed be B. And I'm sure that harsh reality has been revealed to them through the death of their teammate. Mazahong going to try their best to go for it, though. They've still got 4 blades available. Let's see if they can manage to find at least one of these players here. Cloudburst comes through there. They're sticking their guns to the defusal. No one's caught them quite yet, and they will be caught eventually. Autumn shuts it down, taking away number 2 for Honey Badgers.
2 for the Badgers, still 3 for Trident. But a well-played round, I have to say. And rotate this time paying off. But it gets to that point where you can only do so many of those rotates, Matt, before it becomes predictable. Trident could look to preempt that with a rotate of their own, and Well, for the moment, still on a bite. Blessed with the resurrection available. Suave. 1 off the lockdown, 2 off the res for Cloxy. I have to say, Cloxy, swapping over to the Sage, a quiet start for him this time around, opposed to what we normally see when he's on the Jet. Tried it. It's Prophet looking to go aggressive. Rendezvous out. Gets no info. Nothing given over early on by Honey Badgers this time.
Good that they haven't given anything early so far. Definitely does increase their chance of success here. Speaking of, they are just going to play for information early on here. Autumn might get a catch. In fact, they will be the one who's caught. Well played by Howie so far. Rest of Honey Badgers now forced to contemplate how they approach the rest of this round.
Poison's off.
Looks like strangers thinking about their options. Mazuong's gone. Well done by Swirl. Strangers trying to push up now. Has a bubble around the corner. They work together and prevail. Trident looking to hold on strong.
Yeah, once again, an attack is mounted, but it's thwarted immediately. Lockdown available here for Suave.
30 seconds left.
Look to pop it at A, but it's just going to be another seldom fake. Another rotate over to B. Hunter's Fury forced out. Destroy the lockdown. Suave is just here to make pressure and make noise. He's kept 3 players from Trident over here. They still have to deal with Howie this time around. 10 seconds. The wall will cover the plant. You can see Howie looking to jump over the wall, but actually misses the jump. Still gets the kill on the Swirl. Cloxy, now you need to hold on for your life, sir. You need your teammate quickly. Suave on the quick rotate over. It's 2v4 yet again. Low HP this time for Howie. An alarm goes towards the front of the spike. Cloxy trying to dodge out the dart. He just needs to shoot it. And it happens on the spike this time, but no seldom fake, no seldom stick. This time it's Suave. Now to hold it. 1, go 2 maybe. Howie, no. HP lives it and takes him out. Defuse comes through and trying to again retake another 4v2.
Alas, it will be another round now for Trident. Seemingly trading 1-for-1 for the past 4 rounds between each other.
Careful
We'll
there.
see which team will be able to come out on top heading into this one, though. Honey Badger's economy not in the greatest position. They do have enough for at least a couple of their players to maintain the Vandals there, but the rest of them not so fortunate this time. Going to be picking up a bit of armor, but that's really all they can bring to the table here. See where they go, though. Looks like there's a lot of middle presence and A presence being established there, just settling into their default, playing for that early control, get the information, and play off that from there. Swirl, great position, trying to see if they can push up now on the belt. Let's see if they can make this happen.
You can see Swirl has to be very cautious. 2 players underneath belt in this jail position. A few players trying to walk up through tube before the side of Honey Badgers. And Toxic Orb goes up. Swirl, he still needs to be cautious. Calamari's in that position. He fleeks off, and Calamari capitalizes. Perfect play. Great bait from Prophet, I have to say. And Howie able to take out Strangers. Shots for the Sheriff. Trade one back onto Prophet. But the shot is going to force Suave out. Isn't going to get the kill. Autumn quick trade back, though, and it's into the 3v3. Honey Badgers have guns, but they're trying to secure this plant in a scattered take to the site. Cloxy able to trade back to Howie. It's 2 players come from screen, but it's Cloxy doing it all. Perfect shots. Cloxy picks up Vandal. It goes big for 3. Matt, 3 on the board. The Honey Badgers tried it. It was a valiant effort retake. But Honey Badgers, it was a scattered take themselves. It pays off. They'll take those.
Absolutely. I mean, they didn't have their full force heading into that round, but being able to pull it together in the end there and win it, definitely going to be satisfied with that one, Tony. And that is going to take the rounds 1 between them once again here. Trident forced to eco it out mostly here. Do have Mazuong on the Spectre, but otherwise it's just going to be the Pistol Army coming through here. Cloxy trying to wall things off. Mazuong playing very closely in tube. I like it. They find the 1-for-1 trade there. Definitely already doing a bit of damage despite having the less favorable weaponry.
Yeah, it's Trident, when you don't expect them, they pull off the big plays. Cloxy hiding underneath tube. There's 2 players actually to peek it, but Cloxy's just playing aim lab right now, man. 2 pixels of 2 heads. And Cloxy finds them both. Gets halfway. 1 off now to the resurrection. You can see the Honey Badgers, they still don't have to force anything. Taking it slow and methodical, forcing Trident to get aggressive on the eco. And just finding kills from there. Autumn holding the headshot angle perfectly picked up on the Calamari. Now it's Prophet. Headhunter, 8 bullets in the chamber. Half shields. And spotted up by the turret. Tagged a little bit. This is just Suave again on this Killjoy. Lurking over towards C site. And Prophet, he's got to be expecting it this time. The turret was placed freshly. You can hear the footsteps now. XYZ in a little bit of a world of hurt. It's going to be Suave to pick it up. 1 off the lockdown. And tied goes our scoreline. It was a strong start for Trident, but the Honey Badgers starting to find some holes of weakness here.
Some holes in the armor is just what they need, Tony, as they equalize 4 for 4 now. And they're looking to do even further destruction. Try and pull ahead with the lead once again here. Both teams, they have 1 ultimate each. Howie, or rather, there's 1 ultimate on the Honey Badgers side and 2 on Trident. Resurrection available for both teams, but Trident have the key in the Viper's pit here. Looks like the Honey Badgers already smooth sailing through towards middle, trying to take that B control very swiftly. They might just be able to pull it off if they find a key kill, but it looks like they're just going to go straight for a plant. Mazuong pushing through spawn, does spot Autumn, and bang, pop goes the Weasel. It's a man advantage, but it's quickly taken away and stolen straight back.
Yeah, Honey Badgers. You can see Milky deep spawn. This could be a good catch. Makeup. Now, VAL drawn out. Gives info to Milky that he can go for the swing swirl. This is a great little wraparound. Able to find one in the backstab. Almost a lineup. Looking to find one in the Mazuhong. Coming out the kitchen. Suave. And the rest of Honey Badger's swirl is on for this round. And Calamari, well, forced to back off. Forced to save. And nothing really else he can do about it. Maybe pick up this kill on the swirl coming from spawn. But swirl, it's too clean with him, man. 5 go Honey Badgers. They've taken the lead in this second map, and a spray out of swirl. That's a feels bad for Calamari. You can see now the economy is broken for Trident.
Definitely not going to be happy with how it's going at the moment. Does give the side of Honey Badgers an opportunity to play towards 6 rounds here. Trident, at least of building up an economy of ultimates. They've got 3 to their name now. 2 on the Honey Badgers camp. We'll see if any of them are going to be relied upon. Heading forward though, Mazuong looking to go straight for the ult orb. I can respect it, playing off the cloud burst there. Does manage to creep away as well, activating the Blade Storm and getting a kill out of it. Looking for a second there, might be able to do it. They have 3! Mazuong, what is happening here? They've seemingly turned this one on its head. It's a quad kill. Oh my god! Calamari stolen the ace. I can't believe it. A thrifty round to come through from a Trident. 5 for 5.
Mazuhong, there it is. The Rank Demon unleashed in that one. Blade Storm pop for the thrifty. Trident take back the round and take back to tie scoreline. You can see 1 ultimate, the game changer there in that round, Matt, and Honey Badgers weren't expecting that big of a play, that big of an impact. And you can now see Trident, they're feeling it. They get aggressive. Mazuhong, rotated position, wall, toxic orb down, and a quick little rotate, a quick little mid-split. Calamari sends the Hunter's Fury, and all of a sudden, Trident are firing on all cylinders. 2 players down, force out the Resurrection, and Honey Badgers, they wall it off, and they just stabilize. They play aggressive, and they also play for the win conditions. They now back off. They have complete command of the map.
Lockdown is going to be activated here. Honey Badgers playing for control, trying to get straight onto the A side here. Speaking of, Swirl still lurking about, does get taken out by Mazuhong there. An advantage now furthered by Calamari. And it will be the Detain to activate here. Like they try and go for a Cloxy, luckily trades, but just like that, they will not get the spike down and try to take the lead, 6-5.
Last round it was Massive Hong tearing Honey Badgers to shreds. That time it was a team ace, everybody getting involved, and you can see Honey Badgers, they still have a few ultimates to play with, they still have the money to buy the Tour de Force. Going to be invested by Autumn, so he doesn't have to invest this one as well. Hunter's Fury, Milky, Viper's Pit, and Milky, I have to say, has gone a bit unnoticed
Let's play.
in this entire first half of the second map. Milky, normally one that has varying levels of impact. We see some triple kills sometimes, we normally see some great Viper placement. This time he's gone missing. Trident really keeping him down early on, and you can see early on again Honey Badgers is just still trying to go towards this A side, but it's been locked and held so perfectly. Milky pops that Viper's Pit to give him cover to walk on in. But Blessed, Prophet, Calamari, they're all here ready to pop shots in.
Let's see if they're going to be able to take those shots. Strangers looking around the corners now. Do hear some steps nearby them, but they're not going for any shots quite yet off it. Bless could be caught if they push any further forward, and that's just one shot Strangers needs to take in order to shut them down, considering they're sitting right in the smoke there. In the meanwhile, however, the rest of the team seemingly positioning themselves towards middle and the B side. But just like that, Blessed actually gets the kill on 1 HP. We'll heal it all back on the decay. Looks like a nice response has come through from Honey Badgers, though, and they're going to go for a plant here.
Right here.
And Toxic Orb, Hunter's Fury, pop by Swell. Oh, yeah, I believe he tagged his teammate, Cloxy. Getting a little bit of that one. Prophet, will fall. Viper's Pit, as soon as that wall goes down, as soon as the plant comes in, shots coming through. Swell taken out by Howie, and the tap is now onto the spike, but the spray comes through. This time, Honey Badgers aren't going to be fooled by the stick. Well, they will be. There's going to be a swing. Pulls out the Tour de Force. Autumn going to snipe out these last two players. The spray comes again, once again from Cloxy this time. And it's Cloxy for a triple, and it's 6 to Honey Badgers. 6-6.
Switching sides.
Close the half at a tied scoreline, Matt. This is still anybody's game to take. Icebox a little bit more bloodier than our last map of Breeze.
Definitely quite the close one, to say the least. I thought that, you know, maybe it might be not as close heading into the second one, but it seems that Trident are really delivering here, bringing us the best possible game they can, and the same could be said of Honey Badgers. Definitely eager to see how things change up now that we've had the side switch, though. We'll see if we find the same kind of confidence from both of these rosters, or whether one side favors them more than the other. As we do head straight into round number 13 now. Setups already being made there. Calamari going for the shock darts, trying to cover anyone who might be holding true, perhaps. Even take out a bit of utility there. Looks like Trident just positioning outside of the B side as well as through towards middle. Ready to cut their way through at a moment's notice.
Just having the PvE for the moment. Calamari versus Sentry Turret. Sentry Turret 0, Calamari 1. Blessed takes out Milky. Over towards middle. Cloxy, though. There's a few low HP bars lurking about. Autumn makes a few shots, misses, needs his Sage call to action. Suave is there to answer. Able to find another. XYZ able to dodge it out, trade it. Still one more player. It's 3v3. Low HP bars limping into this site are Trident. Honey Badgers looking to hold it down. Swirl, cautious of the mid look. A shot long range, classic from Cloxy, and that sounded absolutely daunting. That was the high HP player here for Trident. Only 2 walking around with Slithers. Autumn
30 seconds left.
taken out by XYZ. Swirl just on the other side of this Viper wall. He's looking to walk it in. They know there's a player mid-site. Rendezvous out. XYZ is able to get safety. And the rotates over towards A, and well, for Honey Badgers, looking to rotate, but they're a little bit late to this call.
10
Trident
seconds
can look
left.
to get that spike down with 10 seconds left, and they will. Plant goes down for Howie. And that's how they play this post-plant 2v2. Both players low HP, as we've said, and Honey Badgers, they've got the full margin to work with.
Poison's off.
We'll see which team will be able to come out on top here. Trident tagged up. We're going to see if they can tag and bag their enemies right now. XYZ and Co. Just doing the best that they can. Wall going to be coming up, however. Honey Badger's going for the defusal. The delay to the defusal is attempted. They won't be able to manage it, though.
Oh.
Swirl cuts them both off and takes away the first round of the second half for Honey Badgers.
And that's an unfortunate round there for Trident. They had the makings of that retake. They were just on top of the wall. XYZ almost got the shot in and denied the defuse. It already got to half by the time the peak came in, so imagine Swirl would have been able to pick up the slack if his teammate were to fall. Honey Badgers find 7, Trident still to 6. And this has definitely been a game on our hands, that's for sure, Matt. Definitely a different story from our first. Trident playing with a little bit of gusto in them, and Honey Badgers, they've been answered in a few of these rounds, and, well, looking to answer maybe over towards the B side. Suave close to Marshall, shading up his position, expecting the Headhunter peak to come through. Calamari taking a lot of damage from that turret.
Maybe a lot more could be taken as well. Trident look to position themselves towards middle. Will be shut down, however. Cloxy, well placed shot with the Marshall there. Gonna do a bit more with it. Trying to get the tag with the Owl drone as well. Do find at least one player. Bless goes down and they all fall one after the other there. Honey Badgers clean it up and take a 2-round lead.
2-round lead. Honey Badgers starting to find the form back, and you can see Trident now to a bite. Nobody close to the ultimates just yet. Suave, those two off with the lockdown. Half charge is Prophet with the tour de force. We can see that have a big impact to come, but of course Trident, they're gonna have a big impact in this one to come. Howie,
That's a good
Phantom, no shields, despite the credits.
Standing ahead.
Perhaps there's a grander scheme at play there, Tony. I'm not so sure. They probably forgot about it, unfortunately, but
Right here.
that's okay. Looks like we are going to be pushing into this one regardless. Trident lining up just outside of the B side at the moment. Do have a one player lurking around A as well. So they've got options depending on where they want to play from here. Don't have to be relegated to just a one side or the other. Looks like XYZ does go down though, so the option of A may dwindle a bit. Calamari still leading with the spike there though. Could certainly open things up, but one player camping it out in Nest may be problematic for them. The B-sided players are all down now. It's all up to Calamari and their teammate Howie here. Let's see if they can manage.
Last player standing.
And it appears we had a technical pause. I believe we lost Calamari, but damage was already dealt by, I believe, the time Calamari disconnected. So again, round played out, no match medic. Hopefully we get Calamari back, but a technical pause as Honey Badgers to find the 9th and looking to find themselves some strong footing to potentially close this one out.
I mean, taking 3 rounds in a row like that is definitely going to be a big confidence booster for them. And considering the state of Trident's economy, I wouldn't put it past Honey Badgers here to go for double digits. But Trident, there is possibilities they might be able to take this one too. You know, we've seen what some of those nasty eco rounds are capable of. You never know who's going to come out on top at the end of these ones, Tony. Can always go a little bit higgledy-piggledy. That is for certain. But still just going to be sitting on the pause for the time being whilst we do resolve technical issues that are occurring in the background there.
Yeah, hopefully we get to get Calamari back because, you know, he's been a bit of an unsung hero for Trident. You know, Mazahong had a big impact in some of these rounds, but Calamari's definitely no stranger, no sloucher here. We saw him on Breeze. We're now seeing him on Icebox, kind of top of the board here. And the IGL, at top of the board, not what you want to see. Normally, towards the bottom of the pack is where you want to see your IGL, and the rest of the team really up there putting numbers in. But if Calamari to do it, he can do it in two ways, IGL and a fragger. Hopefully we get him back soon, and believe we do see him moving, so we might be seeing an unpause in just a second. But a very interesting thing to note with the fact that Howie forgot to buy armor in that last one. Matt, he can afford to spec a light shield into this one, or even a bulldog for that matter.
Not too shabby. At least they've got options there.
All set up.
Looks like, as you said, Tony, bulldog. There it is. Who let the dogs out? And it will be Howie this time. Trident doing everything they can coming forward. They've placed a few weapons in their hands and placed a bit of damage. Cloxy, my word, down to 34 there. It's a bit dangerous for Honey Badgers. Looks like Trident aren't going to waste any time either, trying to get straight onto the site with the plant there. Good trade to come through already. Not going to be able to delay the plant, however. Spike will go down, forced into the retake situation are Honey Badgers now. We'll see if they can manage it here.
Calamari's trying to get out. Milky's on the hunt, but he's dodged, ducked, dived, and weaved. Calamari gets away with it. Mazahong takes another. Honey Badgers 2 to retake here. Foxy has picked up a Vandal. He's looking to put it to work. No heal available just yet. Down to 20 points of HP, and it might look like Trident have this site unlocked. Our drone through. The ping up. Blessed. He's just looking for the wallbang in a moment. The swing comes through from Rafter. Calamari to pick it up. Trident able to find 7 to their board. Honey Badgers a little bit rough on the hold this time around, and Trident able to capitalize off the mistakes.
Let's see what they might be able to achieve heading into the next round. As Trident do at least fire one back there, breaking the 3-round streak in this half. Still a pretty equal economy for the moment as well. That could change at a moment's notice, however. Speaking of, Trident picking up the tour de force already, trying their best to get onto the site. They brute force their way past Swirl and Cloxy. Don't know what hit them there. That's the A side already opened up. Rotations coming through, but the spike should already be down by the time they can even attempt anything.
Spike down. Quick work of this round, making slash of effort. Mazahong to find one on a Milky. You can see that Honey Badger's locked out of the site. Might just early save to be called. Suave, Vandal in hand, does have the lockdown because ideally you want more teammates to go for the retake with that one. Able to find Mazahong walking spawn, not checking in. Bless also to over P. They're showing too much pressure. They're showing too much face right now. Trident kind of need to keep a hold of these guns if they want to keep their economy stable. And Honey Badgers just looking to hold all of the exit angles. Calamari, now he's safe for the moment. Calamari bouncing around, showing his fancy footwork. And Suave to get nothing. Honey Badgers, they dropped that round to Trident, but Honey Badgers, they definitely made it expensive. You can see economy is just not Trident's strong suit. Actually, I tell a lie. Never mind. It's Honey Badger's economy that's not the strong suit. I'd miscalculated the money. Swirl down to 250 credits. Honey Badger's forced to buy back into this one. Trident, ideally, they want to keep at least 3+ alive. Keep the money stable. Keep the money out of the hands of Honey Badgers.
We'll see if they can manage to do it. As Trident go for the B-centric play here, do have one player lurking just towards the bottom and middle there in their spawn, just in case something goes awry. Strangers, though, and their teammate are waiting patiently. They've at least got the poison orb for a little bit of cover, forcing Trident's hand towards the side of the yellow box there. Even to have the shock darts as well. No one making a significant move yet, Tony, but you can feel the pressure starting to build.
Yeah, the pressure's starting to come to a boiling point here. You can see Trident on Tank towards this B site, and Milky has snuck through, looking to wrap the yellow box. 2 players go for the swing, but neither of them found that kill. Mazahong tears the blades out and rips asunder here. 3 players left to Honey Badgers. You see Mazahong trying to fly through. Resurrection available for Cloxy. Could look to get one of his teammates back online, but they're in rough positions to go for this res. The lockdown is going to be invested by Suave with the cover of the wall. This is a good spot to pop it. But Calamari's looking to go through that toxic orb, and Suave's just going to play for the win condition of the lockdown. Both players forced to fall away. The toxic orb, the snake spike, nothing to come out here. Honey Badgers have the full retake just from the lockdown, and just a smart play from Suave. Hunter's Fury to boot, trying to snipe one on the fadeaway. But Honey Badgers, they find 10 nevertheless. Trying to keep 2 alive, keep the money stable. But Honey Badgers, they pick the round up.
Yeah, well played in the end there by Honey Badgers. It seems that the Killjoy certainly has paid some reward for them there, managing to use that utility to maintain site control, forcing the attackers to have no chance at defending that spike there, and thus the gap widens again. 2 rounds between them. We'll see if it does phase Trident at all, though. Whether they just are unfazed and continue their onslaught here. Is already seeking out information towards the A side. Our drone good to find a little bit, it would seem, for the defenders. Now Trident push on. Hunter's Fury available. Trying to get a little bit of damage out there. No one's been caught quite yet, but Blessed is already going for the spike plant.
Trying to get the spike plant down. Milky catching Howie. I'm curious to know how that unfolds, and I'm going to watch the VOD back after that one. Milky able to just walk up, take one for free on the flank. Res comes out, Howie's back, but you will not kill my allies without the trade back. Suave. Autumn, Swirl. Suave, another shorty. Makeup falls. Autumn takes Blessed, and the stick is coming through. The wall gives great cover. Howie can't even do anything about this read. Second will fall to Suave in the ends. 11 to Honey Badgers. And the final hour is upon us. Trident with their potential final buy of the series, Matt. Honey Badgers looking to storm the front, storm the beaches, and take over the series.
We'll see if they will be able to make it all the way through to the end. All they need now is 2 rounds in a row in order to win this series, Tony. 2-0. It is all going to be crucial heading forward. They take everything they possibly can. Information already seemingly gained, it would appear. Trident making a further attempt, though, at this A site. Utility is going to be their greatest strength here. Swirl, not spotted. Oh, this is huge. Swings into it. Gets shut down, though, by XYZ. Blet's going straight for the plant off that one.
Spike planted.
And the plant will go down, but Strangers just pop the Viper's Pit. And the Viper's Pit to counter out. Howie pops this one front of belt. The cover is so odd right now for both sides. You can see that Suave is just trying to get in the belt. The shorty is out. Maybe looking to pop a shot. Half tags up, Bless, taken out by Mazzo on the top of the nest. Foxy now looking to storm in through the Viper's Pit, and it's not going to matter. Milky amongst 2 Viper's Pit can see everything but can't see anything. 9-11. Trident find themselves a round of pure ecstasy here, because that's what they need. They need to be finding these competent rounds, these competent picks, Matt. Trident can still look to get back into this one.
There's still hope yet, Tony. It's a close game, and it's only going to get closer as we dive into the deep end here. Both teams, though, going to be stacked up. They've got Vandals across them plenty. One ultimate going to be available on the defender side there in the Tour de Force. We'll see if it comes out in this round or whether it is going to be saved up for another day. Trident going to go for that split again already, knowing that A has been their greatest strength so far. They've managed to find a lot of kills round after round off this one. We'll see if it is going to work out for them now as they go for the setup. Slow orb in the corner there. Party next door ready to go for the swing, though. Shock dart won't be catching them yet, but they're ready for this one. Mazarong also prepared. Our drone comes out. Surely lots of information gained off that. Looks like there's now Nano Swarm coming out. Party next door knows that there's players lurking about, and they don't get on the site quite yet.
Milky coming from the flank is going to look to find a kill on a Prophet, but it's actually Automir to back him up.
Down A.
Milky, Honey Badgers, they've got the spike. Calamari, make up for. Swirl comes in with Gloxy, and they just send it into the face of Trident. And there's nothing Trident can do but fall. Honey Badgers find 12 match end series point. Trident, what do they do now, Matt? They had the rally round that previous one, but it's going to be a lot more. They still have guns to purchase. Howie, maybe a Bulldog, maybe a Spectre. Light shields, Sheriff, full shield, Sheriff, Howie. Can't really afford a whole lot. It's going to be Light Shield, Spectre. Nope. Oh, yeah, Light Shield, Spectre. There we go.
Yep, locked in and loaded there, and it will be Trident trying to push their way up towards the A site right now. They've got a few defenders at the back there, 3 in total it seems for Honey Badgers. Our drone to come through from Calamari there. They've got a bit of information already. They're going to try and play off that one, swinging their way through. A little bit of information came for Honey Badgers as well, though. Party next door trying to get the shots through. Will be Muzzlehong to open things up, but traded straight back. And so they're back to square one here.
A great shot from Autumn. You can see wall up. Bless is trying to take an aggressive fight. You kind of have to at this stage. 4 players of Honey Badger still standing face and standing tall. Calamari, a 1v4 to win it all out here.
Found them.
2 players found on the dart. Swirl going across the wire. Calamari picks one off. Needs to get out of lockdown. He's detained. And here comes the force, here comes the push, the knives are out, they're just going to crouch around and gather around the campfire, lads. Calamari sent up in flames, Trident 4, Honey Badgers, 13-9 ice spots, 2-0 the series. Matt, a valiant effort from Trident, but in the end, Honey Badgers come out on top. It's another 2-0 from them.
My lord, Tony. Honey Badgers definitely proving that they are a roster with a lot of power and a lot of potential behind them. Definitely eager to see more from them going forward. But Trident, they gave them a really decent run for their money there.
Yeah, I have to say Trident, and especially, Calamari, Mazahong. We saw Calamari have a very rough week 1. It was very... an upsetting performance for him personally. I believe he must have gone back to the drawing board. He must have went back to the VOD and it's like, what can I do more here? What can I do to help my team? Mazahong as well. He did a lot to help the team. 6 first bloods, Matt. 20-18 despite them losing. Mazahong, definitely a presence to be felt in this series, and definitely a presence to be felt going into the later stages of this tournament. Trident still a heavy contender, but they're going to be the team to go 1-1 this evening. Honey Badgers now 2-0 atop of the group.
Definitely showing that they have managed to put a lot of hard work in. Heading towards the season here, Tony. Obviously, we've still got another week, though, before we do head towards the finals. And they're looking pretty strong so far, the Honey Badgers. We'll see if anyone's going to be able to take them down a notch, though, heading into the final week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top because, it's been Gym Fan Club showing up full force week number 2 and really shaking up the standings completely. Of course, we saw Gym Fan Club last week fall 0-2 to Honey Badgers, and then this week they just absolutely tear apart Raid, one of the best rosters arguably in the region at the moment. Of course, the reigning champions here for the XP Open Series, and that speaks volumes to who can show up on any day, Matt, and we definitely saw that Honey Badger showed up yet again this week to play, and it's going to be interesting going into next week because, of course, we now have a very interesting term of results here, and who to place where it's hard to tell still who finishes first in this group. Honey Badgers could still lose a game. Trident could look to squeak out that first seed.
We'll see what happens, Tony. Obviously, next week's games are going to be as follows. It will be Arena versus Honey Badgers and Gym Fan Club coming up against Trident. heading into August 3rd's games. So I'm definitely eager to see how it all goes.
As we take a look and we take a step back and we look at our results, 0-2 Raid Gym Fan Club, strong result out of them. Quick sweep, 13-4, 13-6. And then we saw Honey Badgers a little bit more tested to the scorelines there, 13-10 in Icebox. And then, of course, we just saw 13-10 on Breeze. We just saw Icebox be played. Honey Badgers 2-0 their game as well. Some quick series, Matt, but still some close ones, I have to say, despite the map scorelines.
Absolutely. 0-2 doesn't tell the full story, that is for sure. Trident definitely put in a lot of hard yards there coming into that last series especially. I feel like under different circumstances, we could have seen a pretty different result. But alas, Honey Badgers are the winners today, and we'll take it away.
That's, of course, the way it goes, and, you know, it's going to be interesting to see going into next week. But, Matt, it was a pleasure, as always, and, of course, a pleasure to our lovely admin, Alex, our observer, Crash, catching all the action. And we'll catch you for some more action next week here for the XP Valorant Open Series 2, brought to you by Computer Alliance and Intel. We'll catch you next time. Have a lovely rest of your evening.